just be like, it's
or no, if you were a superpowered character in some type of anime, what would your weakness be?
Oh, I can see that. I wouldn't want to fly at all. I'd definitely just be a big hopping ass nigga. Like, oh my, just hop places.
That's scary, though. Because when you hop and you get that sensation of falling, that got to be so scary.
Hell yeah.
It would be scary the first couple of times, but once you know your shit ain't gonna break from it, I think you are.
But what if you trip and fall on your face?
Huh?
What if you trip and fall on your face?
All mine still gonna be smiling. Ting.
With no teeth.
But for me, that ain't gonna work.
He ain't gonna have no teeth.
I would just walk around on the ground, just like, hey, everybody, I'm all man. I'll take the CTA, bro.
So they be like, even if Hawks gonna shit on you, Hawks gonna be like, nigga, you got that ability. You should be flying.
You clap his ass?
Slap his ass, bro. You're waiting for me.
That's fucked up.
Petty.
I'll run there everywhere.
I'll see you guys there. I'm running.
Yeah.
Can't you fly? Yeah, I like to run. That's wild, bro.
I be that Superman nigga that's on the ground. Niggas like, can't you fly? Yeah, but that shit too high, bro. So
He flying like this on the ground. He flying like the car level on the ground.
Hell yeah, he is.
Hey, excuse me, I'm trying to get somewhere, son. You gotta follow traffic laws.
Motherfucker sitting in traffic and shit.
Like,
He floating in traffic and shit. Talking about, damn. Move, man.
Today, bro.
Pushing cars out the way.
Wow. That's wild. Shame on you, man.
That is true.
She got everything, but she bang with us. Hook her on the team, bang. She a little button for the cameras. We got everything that you need.
3, 2, 1. Welcome to the AfrOtaku podcast, episode 6, the podcast where we talk about anime, manga, and everything else. I'm Mr. Good Guy, aka MGG, and I'm joined here by my co-hosts, who will introduce themselves, starting right now.
hey, I'm player 5.
What up, what up? I am Gramps.
Alright, let's get into it. Story time. Take it away.
Alright, what was this? Last weekend? I had to work a Saturday shift at my construction site. So I figured, alright, let me bring my girlfriend over and have her see what we do on the site. Just like I do any Saturday I come in, I buy a couple dozen donuts and bring them in for all the guys that are there.
That's decent. Alright.
I mean, you know, it is what it is.
Great.
$14.
He counted.
So I come in and
Put all that on the site.
Yeah, it's that.
so I come in and, you know, introduce her to a couple people and shit like that. I hop on the hoist. Now, you know, I'm so used to being on the construction site. Well, are y'all familiar with the hoist? What a hoist is?
Hell no.
It's basically like the elevator, but it's outside the building, and it rides up the side of the building.
That's wild, yeah. How's that really? Can you press buttons and shit on it?
You
drive it?
No, you control it with a joystick.
So you can just break them up. Just do whatever you want.
What do you mean?
Ooh, dangerous.
You don't drive. You hire an operator. That person is the only one.
So you don't know how to operate it?
You're not supposed to.
So you get it.
Why not?
That's a whole training for this shit.
I want to know how to operate the little outdoor elevator shit.
That's training for being able to be an operator for anything on a construction site.
you
There's
have
a
to,
whole
like-
there's a whole union for it.
But it's just going up and down.
Yeah.
Bro, I don't know the story. Is this nigga Daredevil?
Shout out to Iron Fist. Every week he's talking
Man, you
about
can see my motherfucking story. Fuck y'all. So I hop on the hoist or whatever, and I'm comfortable. I'm over there chatting it up with the guys, my laborers, and all of that. And I'm like, yo, what's up, guys? This is my girlfriend or whatever. And you know, we're riding up the hoist, going up toward the top of the building.
Great
and
donuts,
just having a good conversation. And then they hop off. Then I look over toward her, and I realize she's over there just fucking shaking hard. I was like,
dang,
oh shit, I forgot. It's your first time hopping on the hoist. My bad.
Can you like see through everything on the thing? On the hoist?
You can see outside the back of it.
Like, is it sealed or is it just kind of like a platform you step on?
It's like a big ass cage that you're in.
This is a cage.
But it's a cage, so there's holes through it.
Outside.
Yeah.
No.
Wow, you are. Wow.
You breathing outside
So
air.
she was shaking as you was going up this.
She was shaking, bro, and we were going up to the top.
She afraid of heights? Is that what it was?
No, I mean when I hopped on the hoist for the first time during my internship, I'm not gonna lie, my knees were kind of shaking or whatever. I was like, oh shit, because you can like literally see right outside and see how high up you're going down or going up from the building. So
I mean, how high do these hoists go up to? Sorry to ask all these questions, but I'm trying to.
Depends on how tall your building is. My building is.
So it could go all the way up to the top of a skyscraper. Is what you're trying to say?
Yeah, my building is 45 stories.
Cage?
It's too high.
No, bro.
Okay.
Because it's tied into the building. It has multiple.
All you gotta do, all them motherfuckers gotta do is break it.
No, they break all the time, but they don't.
Wow.
No, they break in multiple ways, just like a car.
Somebody come get this.
They break in ways just like a car or whatever, where it's just where it's just not running.
Check it out.
But it doesn't drop. It has multiple different ways to make sure that if it
take her out somewhere fancy, that's a break up with a fence right there, bro.
break up with a more
Put me on
fence.
this cage, breathe outside, 45 some storms.
This man said like, yeah, I never walk outside. I never breathe outside.
I
Yeah.
don't breathe up there outside air down. My outside air is down here. That's different air.
You did it to her, man. That's
So if you were to go to the top of a building and open up the window, guess what you're breathing?
I would never open up a window that high. Never.
You seem like you gonna get stuck outside or some shit.
Yeah, you never.
You never know.
I mean,
You
but
do.
opening up a window, I don't know. I'd do that. But yeah, being outside in the cage.
I'm actually afraid of heights, so
okay.
we different. Like, I don't even get close to windows in buildings inside.
Damn, hole for real?
Is it? So don't you know the sky or like the skybox
Yeah.
and the Sears Tower? I did one of these.
Oh yeah,
I touched the vision with my foot and was like, all right, I was in it.
Well, that's a different story because you are a very
So-
heavy guy, so I can definitely see myself being afraid to stand on glass out there.
So how you feel about being on your porch? You on the top floor.
True.
Y'all look up the side of it.
No, but if you look outside, it's a problem.
Yeah, like that's too high for me. I'm gonna be 100 with y'all. I'm so afraid of heights that like it's a little bit much for me to be this.
Oh, that was just the problem with the high chair.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah, now I remember.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I'm afraid of heights.
It's real, bro. See, man, I don't know, man. You starting to like make this like elephant and rat stereotype.
Yeah.
Like you know the elephants that be scared of mouses. It's like,
Just like
bro,
how-
why are you afraid of these?
Just like how I'm afraid of
how
mice,
did you
you're
develop
afraid of
these
heights.
things?
Yeah. People.
But it'd be the most like unconventional fears. It's like y'all niggas way too big to be scared of some like heights and some mice. Like it don't add up.
Nigga, hold on. Let's come on what you afraid of,
Yeah,
motherfucker.
birds can definitely
Exactly.
kill you.
What?
What are you talking about? What's worse? Would you rather be attacked by one mice
One mouse.
or one bird?
That mouse can have rabies.
Mouse.
Yeah,
got
you
rabies,
heard
bro.
First of
so-
all, I'm not like deathly afraid of mice, but I will say this: anything that's smaller than a dog and scurries fast kind of scare me a bit.
Yeah, because they can fucking run up
you
your pants or
rather
whatever.
fight
They can just run up your
a-
pants. They
a
all up
bird?
inside your shit,
I'd
bro.
much rather fight a bird.
You would rather fight the bird than the
Yeah,
mouse.
dude,
Wow,
okay.
y'all niggas,
Come on.
y'all big niggas. It don't make sense. I think
No,
once you
no,
get that
listen.
high because the
No.
oxygen is starting to go away,
No, bro,
y'all niggas' brains be
listen.
like.
Once the bird's wing is injured, he can't do
So you
shit
tell me
anymore.
you take on a straight up falcon and you going against a mouse.
You ain't said nothing about fucking.
But it's a bird.
You ain't say legendary Pokemon status
I'm
as,
talking about
as
some
birds.
Okay, give me the mouse equivalent to that. What's the
To a
mouse
falcon?
equivalent to a falcon?
Like fucking a big stupid ass rat, like
Yep.
a dog sized rat.
No, ain't no
I've
dog
never-
sized
what?
It has to
There
be
are
something
dog-sized
common.
rats,
Like,
nigga.
falcons are common, hawks are common.
Okay,
It has to be a
real
common
quick.
mouse.
You see how big my shoe is?
Yeah.
I've literally ran into multiple dead rats in Chicago.
Yo,
the size of my foot.
you are.
There's a picture.
Hey.
Okay, I can show you this picture with
Nigga,
Quinn.
I've
I can show
seen-
you this picture with Quinn.
I've seen
There's
bigger.
A dead one. We took a picture. It's right next to his foot.
Yeah.
It's the same size as his foot. And that's the regular one.
I've seen bigger rats. You crazy.
Lurking out there.
Yeah.
on this big.
I still
He's
rather
sleeping,
take that
bro.
on.
He's-
I'll take that on still.
I'll fight the falcon.
That's easy. One
Now-
bet. All you gotta do is give me a bet. Like,
Now,
boom,
now,
it's
now
a
here's the
100%.
thing. Are we going to include ostriches in the bird family?
Yeah,
As the
hell
king?
yeah.
Because that's low-key cheating.
You goofy.
What are you talking about? They are birds, nigga. Like,
Can
they're
they fly?
birds.
Can they
Okay,
fly?
so then
That's not a stipulation to be a bird. That is not.
fine.
That is not. It's
How
not.
about this? All rodent families. So like a large porcupine versus like.
Nah, I'm still cool with that. All
Like,
I
the
need is a
thing
bet.
You're not going. We talking no.
Tell me
weapons.
what
no weapons,
furry
you're not
creature-
banging a porcupine. You're not beating a porcupine.
I got my shoes on.
No weapons, bro.
Shoes count as a weapon?
Yeah, because you gonna try.
So you don't call barefoot.
You're a caveman. You're a caveman with a
rat. You literally are just setting the nigga up.
Okay, but you can't count an ostrich. That's a different type of bird.
What? Stop. See, you're doing these like out of the box arguments that are like forcing you to say one way. Like I was seeing this post the other day. It was like the one I posted on the group. It was like Reggie and like these other people. There was just like you definitely just want me to pick Reggie.
How about this? We'll make it fair. Instead of giving you these situations, situations are equal, but the mass is the same. Okay. So like if it's one ostrich, you got that many rats that equal that same weight.
That's wild.
so we go on by weight. The weight is the same. One ostrich versus that many big ass rats that equal the same.
I'll put it this way then. Which one are you more likely to survive? If they're both trying to kill you, which one are you more likely to survive?
If the rats can chew through steel, I could probably kill an ostrich.
No.
No
way!
Rats can squeeze through small gaps.
Ostriches are razor sharp.
I get that.
And they just slice you thin.
But they also.
But he ain't busting through my door.
And they can be as fast as any other.
They're also balanced to hit you. To hit you, they literally have to have 1 foot up. Like, don't get me wrong.
The way you try to finesse these things, I can't have this argument with you. The way you try to finesse this out here. It's not, bro.
I'm gonna put my reason out here, and then we gonna see your reason, which is fucking ridiculous. Yes. One, to attack me, they gotta put themselves at a disadvantage. They balances off. That's one. Two, that's literally their only weapon. You feel me?
You got some human strat.
It sounds if I get behind this ostrich or on top of it, it's a rat, bro. It's literally a rat. If I'm on top of it.
He can turn his head around, bro.
I'm not getting beat up by a pet.
He can turn it.
You serious?
Oh, you sleeping?
Well, I would I would jump on top of this ostrich.
Their necks are like this fat, man.
We talking to the death, bro. It's that or die. I was definitely choke ostrich.
This nigga really trying.
How much ostrich weight? I bet I'm bigger than an ostrich.
Oh wow, we gotta look.
It sounds like we have a new segment of our show called the Would You Rather.
Yeah, could you beat this animal?
Would you rather? This is gonna be the new segment, and the first one seems to be it's in the midst of my fucking story time. Would you rather fight a big ass ostrich?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. 6 feet, 6'6", 5'6" to 6'6" feet.
This nigga said 6'6". He almost your height, bro.
The males are 6'9" to 9'2".
Can I find a female?
You said 9'2".
Yes, to 9'2".
How you 9'2"?
Why are we trying this? Why are we trying? No, you gotta find a male, nigga. Or female or male rats.
Female. They be female rats.
Bro, how you 9'2"?
250. 250? That's big.
And they'll slice you thin, son.
Stop it, bro. I could definitely
razor sharp talons.
That's like you fighting Shaq with knives in his hand.
I'll definitely choke this little nigga out.
Bro, you ain't choking the fuck out.
If I get up there, he get choked out. 100. That's a big if, you feel me?
You know how strong their legs are, right?
Definitely getting you.
Okay, 250 pounds.
Ooh, that talent getting you, son. Stop playing.
I feel like ostriches don't kill enough people for me to be afraid.
You sure?
I've seen too many.
That's because they're not out here.
I've seen too many Chris Bosh movies to be afraid. Oh, whenever I see one,
that bitch fat.
That's a big motherfucker, dude.
Oh like a lion?
No, that's a cheetah.
Cheetah trying to chase after him. Ooh, look at that stride. Look at that stride, bro. Stop playing.
I mean, those cheetahs are definitely taking him down, but
no, he's still going.
So picture this being you. You trying to hop on his back while he
43 miles an hour
while he making moves.
Check this out. This thing 250 pounds. One rat is about one New York rat on average is about 1 pound. So 250 rats,
okay,
or one ostrich, and they can all chew through steel.
No, bro, I already knew I was choosing the ostrich.
Okay, good.
But I'm saying that your ass ain't finna fight no fucking ostrich. That's all I'm trying to say.
Okay, so let's put it out of 10 times, I definitely die 7, but I kill it.
No. What? Okay, those 3 cases are the case that you show up and the ostrich is already dead. No. You literally see ostrich, it dies right in front of you.
He got one of his legs chopped off already, so he can't do shit. Just laying there like
fall over and die. He just clogged him.
with a rock.
Definitely kill an ostrich.
I can survive the rats.
I'm looking at these pictures of like niggas.
The thing, as long as it's still an open area, if it's still in the same situation. Now, if you lock me in a room with a rat, and you lock me in a room with an ostrich,
you dead in both situations.
Then, yeah, I'm dead in both situations, but I might have a slight chance with the ostrich. With the rats, like, it's a wrap, because I can't, like, get them all. But if I got space, stomp one, stop two, it's a wrap, it's over.
Hey, I'm looking
I ain't fighting
rat stomping for days.
I ain't fighting no rat, bro.
I can definitely get 3 wins because, like, I'm looking at these little
110 pounds of rats are gone, for sure.
Bro, sometimes these ostriches run from people. You feel me? Sometimes.
Okay.
So if I can get it. If I can
I
get
swear he stayed with the reaches, bro. Every time. This is what he did with the bear and the caveman. He said, hey, just so you know, sometimes people be scared of bears.
They do.
You just go by and the bear run away. So all I'm trying to say
So
is...
this is what he won't tell you, though. This is what he won't tell you. There are literally videos out there of an old lady screaming at a bear, and the bear like, and then run away because it's like, oh, this is weird, turn around. There are videos, animals are stupid. Sometimes you can just yell at an animal and then run.
But we know that in both of these situations, we said that these animals are trying to kill us.
I feel you.
Right.
But
So this ostrich ain't running away.
It could be like, oh, I'm trying to kill you. Oh, I'm a boxer. I gotta kill it. We stuck in the room, but 3 times. I definitely kill it 3 times.
I don't know where you're getting that 3 from, bro. That 30% is way too high.
Bro, you definitely hyping up this bum.
Disney says he's a C average on beating.
So here's the real question, bro.
Right?
That's very likely to
I said 30%.
No, he dying.
Yeah,
70% of the
he
time.
died 70% of the time.
Yeah,
That's pretty good odds.
I agree that
That's pretty good odds.
I'm agreeing that it kills me most of the time.
But
I'm getting 0 dubs off the rats. 0. I'm dying. Every time. 10 out of 10 dead.
That's pretty good odds.
You gonna die every time.
No, the 10 out of 10 is horrible odds. I'm talking about 70% of the time is pretty good
odds. That's why I
odds.
would buy the ostrich, because I can beat it up.
This nigga, this is coming from the same nigga that said he look over the side of his building and he like
hold on.
gotta go in.
Even if you got a knife in your hand, you have a slight chance against this ostrich, but you still ain't beating these rats.
Oh,
So why are we arguing? So why are we having this argument? You gonna lose against the rats no matter what.
A knife? Or if I had some type of weapon, if you give me a weapon, the rats is over. That's 100%.
You
really?
250 rats with a knife?
You tripping, bro.
I don't know where you guys are getting this. Like, rats are not invincible, fam.
If we was coming here drunk, you should have told me.
Yes, you gonna get a couple rats, but you got a whole ass army of rats.
That's fine.
Okay, so hear me out. Hear me out.
He dead.
What would you rather fight? An ostrich?
Give me a shovel, matter of fact. All I need is a shovel, just boom, scoop them rats up, bam, against the wall. Scoop another group of rats up, slam them against the wall.
Are they just standing there or some shit? Or are they coming to eat your
They're gonna
ass?
try to come, but like at the end of the day, like I don't know where this is coming from, bro. They easily stompable creatures.
Would you rather fight an ostrich or a big ass eagle? I'm talking about like one of them eagles like 10-foot wingspan.
You talking about that one that was out there in that video?
Yeah. No, that's pretty big. But like an ostrich or like a big ass eagle. Like, cause I feel like ostriches are big, but they bitch made. You know?
I don't even know if I can
like,
make a
eagle
decision
is
on
really
it.
trying to kill you.
Yo, let me finish my motherfucking story time. We're gonna finish this shit later.
Go ahead.
Are we really gonna have all of this and the story time?
Hey, bro. I mean, yeah.
The story.
Fuck. Yo, I don't even know where I was. I was talking about riding a hoist. Niggas started talking about birds and shit.
Yeah, she was scared.
Yeah. So we eventually hop off at the top of the building. I show her everything. We actually walk up to the roof of the building where the wall is probably like, probably about this tall.
Why
So you can
like
actually like look over and if you were stupid enough, just jump off the building or some shit.
Wow.
But
You just looked over.
yeah, I mean, once again, the wind is not to pick me up and throw me over the fucking building.
Nah, I'm interested in the conclusion now. This sounds a little interesting.
So I give it a little tour. She gets to the point where she has to hurry up and leave for an appointment that she has. So I give her a quick rundown of the building, showing her some of the apartments inside of it and stuff. And I start walking her out. She leaves, and as I'm coming back into the building, this is where the stupidest part of the day comes. A couple of the guys that were working on the windows of the building, they asked me, "Yo, so was that your daughter that you were walking around?" Bruh.
Yo, they don't call you Gramps for nothing, boy. Oh, that's wild, bro. And that's also scary, son. You a black man in America, they will shoot your ass, bro.
Bruh.
I'm just saying, you definitely can't date no white bitches now, fuck. Cause they would be like, oh wow, this is some pedo shit, bro.
I asked these.
They'll shoot your ass, bro.
You had to hit him in the mouth for that one.
I asked these motherfuckers, how old y'all think I am? Niggas 35, 40?
Wow,
Like,
35, 40.
God,
Damn, son.
35, 40. I'm like, y'all some
Your
stupid
black is
motherfuckers,
definitely
man.
cracking, bro. That black is cracking all over the place.
Yep. Humpty Dumpty, man. Fucking fell off the wall. Yeah, these are some of the stupidest motherfuckers I had to deal with.
Come on, bro. You go stupid, for not being able to identify your age from looking at you.
I'm like, bro, you're older than me. What y'all talking about, man?
I thought you was 46 when I met you, bro. I'm just gonna be honest. What? I was like, man.
We're all freshmen.
I
You
said
think I'm
anybody
46.
can do it, bro. I seen him, I was like, yo, anybody can do it. Niggas just coming back in their 40s going to college.
Yo, dumbass.
I'm just kidding. I didn't know what it was. I got the same thing too when what's her face first met me. China, she said that I looked like I was 30 something.
Damn, we name dropping. Okay.
I mean, yeah, they not gonna find out who that
This shit probably never be on.
is. Probably.
No one trying to see y'all. See, I don't fuck with
I watched the episode too. I saw y'all talk about me on your podcast.
you. I was trying to buy you lying.
Delete that section of the episode. I don't know which show we're gonna watch it. I ain't know what show.
But yeah, that's my story time. Motherfuckers out here dumb as hell.
That was wild.
And watch out for these ostriches and rats.
Yeah, I'll watch out. And we're not gonna go back to it, but all I know is that birds are definitely scarier than.
Your ass tripping.
Right.
You would never
Maybe
even
that's
see an
how we-
ostrich in the city.
Maybe that's the Halloween
But if you
content.
did see an ostrich in the city, I'm definitely running.
Oh
Maybe
yeah.
that's the Halloween content. What's your weakness? Like, what if there was a monster coming after you? What would what would they do to make you definitely just be like, it's a wrap?
Or no, if you were a superpowered character in some type of anime, what would your weakness be?
Oh, I can see that. I wouldn't want to fly at all. I'd definitely just be a big hopping ass nigga. Like, oh my, just hop places.
That's scary, though. Because when you hop and you get that sensation of falling, that gotta be so scary.
Hell yeah.
It would be scary the first couple of times, but once you know your shit ain't gonna break from it, I think you are.
But what if you trip and fall on your face?
Huh?
What if you trip and fall on your face?
All mine still gonna be smiling. Ting.
With no
You know what I'm
teeth.
saying? But for me, that ain't gonna work.
You ain't
I
gotta go
would
have no
just-
teeth.
I would just walk around on the ground. Just like, hey, everybody, I'm all man. I'll take the CTA, bro.
So they'd be like, even if Hawks don't shit on you, Hawks gonna be like, nigga, you got that ability. You should be flying.
I'm on.
You clap his ass?
Slide this ass over. You know, you're waiting for you.
That's fucked up.
Petty.
I'll run there.
I'll see you guys there. I'm running.
Yeah.
Can't you fly? Yeah, I like to run. That's wild, bro.
I'll be that Superman nigga that's on the ground. Niggas like, can't you fly? Yeah, but that shit too high, bro.
He flying like this on the ground. He flying like the car level on the ground.
Hell yeah, he is.
Hey, excuse me, I'm trying to get somewhere, son. You gotta follow traffic laws. and
Motherfucker
everything
sitting in
there.
traffic
What do
and
you
shit.
look like,
He
man?
floating in traffic and shit. Talking about damn. Move, man.
Watch today, bro.
Pushing cars out the way.
Wow. That's wild. Shame on you, man.
That is true.
Alright, let's get into manga highlights. Let's start with Boku no Hero since we already got this page up. Man, I'm disappointed. They gave Momo a Red Riot moment. I had a lot of hope. I really thought I was gonna prove these niggas wrong. Really did.
I was hoping they would show. Something more from my shadow homie.
Really? Yeah, no, let's talk about that because we definitely did not. His new move, the I Can Fly Now move, was so trash. For all that hype behind it, like, oh yeah, Hawks, I didn't want to lose to this nigga. And then Hawks was like, yeah, nigga, you can fly. And he was like, you're right, I can. And it wasn't even like raw the way it looked. It would have been cool if he got like wings and shit. He literally put his cape over his shadow and was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fly now.
Yep.
Yeah, like, it was super lame. That was the one thing that it was the latest thing. It made me lose respect for that nigga.
Oh yeah.
Like up here, it's like my top 3 I bang with this nigga hard. After that, I was like, alright, bro, you down over here, right?
He tried to make it up this chapter though with his little new move, but it was still kind of like whatever. Funniest part is Aoyama, man. Like I don't know, you need a character development arc or your ass finna get transferred or something, bro. Because they caught that nigga off screen.
Yeah, they
like
did.
He did.
Yes, they did.
He didn't have a fight. They was like, oh, we already caught that.
Yeah, right.
I was like, yo, bro.
Sorry.
You ain't even get a fight, my guy.
You know, I think that Aoyama is that character that, like, you know, you make all these characters. You're like, oh yeah, I want to have fun with all these characters. At some point, you write it, you're like, damn, this nigga hot, bro. Fuck it, they caught this nigga off screen. Eventually, how
am I even gonna write this fight? Yeah, how am I gonna write this fight legit? Hey, like, Invisible Girl showed him up in this chapter, fam.
Invisible Girl, she did get hard counted. But that Mushroom Girl power kind of OP as fuck.
Yeah, it is.
The fact that at first I thought it was shit, but then when she did the thing with Tokoyami where she got it in his throat, I was like, okay.
As soon as she explained her power, I already knew like that could happen. She was like, oh, I'm constantly releasing these spores, and I can choose to activate them and grow them at will. And when she said that, I was like, oh, she could just choke a nigga out. Because I'm like, they already breathing it in. I'm like, if she don't choke him out, it's just because she's a good person.
She can kill anybody, basically,
at
this point.
I gotta step out real quick.
All right, who else was it disappointing, or are we putting respect on?
I want to put respect on basically. I don't the black dude and the hands guy were kind of and the hands girl. They did their job. I wasn't like impressed. They just did their job. But comic book dude, fucking awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
All he did was just throw letters at motherfuckers.
Yeah, but they were like giant letters. You could kill somebody with that. If they were just like little letters that people punch through, bro, the letters were so big that it changed the map. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just completely changed the map. You couldn't break through it. You had to go around it. But that's strong.
Yeah, but if you get stronger, then you can just easily start breaking through all of that shit. All of these characters are going to get strong enough to the point where they can break through it.
If we real here, the way he dropped that, if he dropped that, besides All Might and that Nobu and All For One, any nigga he dropped that on is dead. He dropped that big ass wall. That motherfucker was about 40 feet high. They couldn't even see over it. It was thick as hell. He dropped that big ass wall on Endeavor. Endeavor dead. Anybody who got All Might or one of them super buff niggas get hit by that nigga.
I can't say I agree, man.
What was it again?
He's talking about
oh, he got it raw. I like this power. The onomatopoeia shit.
Yeah.
But I've seen it done.
It's basically Levy from Fairy Tail.
Yeah, Levy from Fairy Tail. There's also a character in JoJo's that has the same kind of ability. They turn words into stuff. And then I think there's someone else I'm forgetting. So I've seen it before. So it can be powerful, but I feel like every time the people I see that get it, they're always very side.
They side characters, so it doesn't.
So they don't use it to its full potential at all.
I know. I mean, I know he never gonna get the development. He always gonna be a side fuck boy.
Yeah.
But it's just like the fact that he can do that. Like, that wall was big enough to change the map. And like, literally, if he chose to drop it on somebody, that wall would kill every character. Every character we seen besides like All Might and the rest of them stupid small niggas. That wall drop on you, you're dead.
I really don't think it's that strong, man. I think it's just basically like a large block of concrete. And if you can,
large block of concrete heavy.
Nigga, they fly through fucking buildings all the time. I'm not talking about the kids, but I'm talking about the adults. Endeavor, All Might, all these niggas are getting thrown through buildings all the time. So I'm like, okay, if you can fly through a fucking building, then you're basically knocking out any letter he throw at you.
What if he makes a word that's like diamond or something? Like, so now he makes himself like a shield that's hard as diamond, or like, I don't know. There's limitless possibilities with the types of things. I don't really see what the limit is on his power.
What would be wrong with this power?
Did he say his
throat
throat
was
was
hurting? His limit is whenever he can't fucking talk anymore.
That's what I'm saying. Did he say his throat was hurting though?
Yeah.
Oh, that's stupid. It's a dumbass limitation because I could talk all day. like, are you joking?
No, but here's the thing. I'm assuming that the louder he yells, the more powerful or larger the object is. So when he's yelling out, BAM! That's when it actually becomes an extremely large BAM that comes down. That's compared to like BAM, it's just gonna be a little tiny thing flying at you.
I think I agree with that.
Yeah.
Mushroom Tip was kind of hard.
I slept on her heavy.
Did you call her Mushroom
expecting
Tip?
it much.
That's her new name.
This nigga.
I think if she was, if she had Kendall's mind, she would be a better character in my mind.
Which one is Kendall?
Kendall has big hands.
But that's my thing.
If she was a strap person with that ability, she would actually be like real cold to me. But she's not a strap person. Like she's like being used as.
In the world of My Hero, I'm starting to realize like niggas don't come with both. You don't come with a raw power and straps, except Bakugo. But he being a tsundere and weakens himself.
I mean, I say Momo's ability is pretty cold.
Yeah, but
she could definitely be a dumb nigga and still like turn up with that power. Like if she was a straight martial artist.
If she was stupid, she couldn't use her power.
If she was a martial artist,
if she was stupid, she couldn't use her power.
What do you mean?
Her power was all about being smart. She has to know the exact makeup.
Oh yeah, okay, I forgot about that stipulation. You're right.
What the fuck was that?
She's a whole ass alchemist. That's that PS4. That must be just.
Like,
yeah. Wow. Oh yeah, I forgot this Xbox nigga. You don't understand the sounds, yeah, because it's motion censored.
No, that must be trying to automatically eject and shit.
Yeah, that's what be happening to me. Whenever I walk into my room, I hear beep beep, and then like my disc come out, and I'm like, "Fuck y'all, man!"
Right? You a broke ass system.
I mean, still better than the Xbox One, but
cable box.
You right? My little brother got an Xbox One. I just found out, and I was like, "Have you talked to it yet?" He was like, "Talk to it." I was like, yeah, bro, that's the whole point of getting it, motherfucker. Like, if you never told it to turn on or anything like that, you should have just got a PS3.
I agree. Like, the whole point is just being able to walk in with my Xbox on.
Wow. But yeah, so obviously they put a lot of respect on Momo's name, I guess, at the end. With the fact that.
Did it really, though?
I mean, Kendall basically admitted, like, I lost. No. We won, but I lost. I got outshredded.
But how though? All she did was just make her get stuck.
I mean, she definitely outshredded her with the. She captured her, after they had their fight. So she still did that.
No, it doesn't work because you can capture somebody, but you still have to put them in a cage for them actually to be.
She captured her for her friends to capture. Like if her friends didn't take an L, Momo would have been called.
Yeah.
Or not Momo, but Big Hands.
Yeah.
Well, I guess like my thing here.
Because she couldn't even do much, and then there's still the strat with the cannon, because she initially thought that she was just trying to like break the wall down, but she was actually just trying to send some shit
over
to fix them. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the fact that she knew the bug spray and what was the other thing that she sent over? The night vision goggles, which I was like, oh shit, that is smart. And you gotta know the measurements of those things. It's kind of raw.
Yeah, I even though I agree with you, I still also agree with Gramps that no respect was put on her name. Reason being is nothing new. Like we got respect put on Red Riot name when he went unbreakable because it's
new power up.
But when she did that, literally, I've seen her strap harder when they were stuck in the. Actually, I think this was an anime only thing. But in the anime, I think they were during the license exam. Because I don't remember her dealing with this during the manga. During the license exam, she stratted pretty hard. Like, personally, I think we didn't see anything new. Like, we know she can strat. We know she can pull shit out undercover. Like, I'm not impressed. I knew she was going to take the L. She had to.
I do think Togedori put some respect on her name, saying that y'all niggas definitely should have all gangbanged her ass. It just sucks that she still ended up losing for that. I mean, in general, I see your guys' point, but I am still thinking that the writer cares enough about her that like there's something on the horizons for Momo. I don't know what it is. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but she's gonna get some real respect at some point.
What was the last arc before this?
That was the overhaul arc.
Okay, so this is my prediction. So far, my predictions are right. I believe in Momo, and I believe in like this nigga used to be one of my favorite characters.
Who?
Togedori?
Togedori.
Oh yeah.
So like I knew they had to take that L. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For story's sake, like it's going to be tied when Deku has to fight. It's going to be 2-2. For story's sake, that's just going to make it a funner arc.
Okay.
And so here's my thing. I think Todoroki is going to take another L. Todoroki's going to take an L. He's going to lose. And so my thought process behind why Todoroki is going to lose.
No, I just wanted to see what the other fight was. I forgot that they won theirs. Go ahead.
Yeah, my thought process behind why he's going to lose is one, he's going against the other person that was let in on recommendation. And so far, what we've seen, the recommendation niggas are hard as fuck.
You're talking about who we're suspecting that guy is.
Yeah, it has to be him because we know
we don't see him
with
the weird teeth. Yeah,
and so
soft man.
We don't see him anywhere else, which means this nigga gonna have to be hard. He has to be hard. Them niggas are raw. The niggas that got let in. That one nigga right there, confused shit. The nigga that's stretching. Yeah, is that the nigga that confused shit?
Man, I don't know.
No, that's not fusing shit. That nigga down there. We don't know his power up there. We don't know his power yet.
Yeah.
Iron Homie is just as strong as what's his name?
Red Riot, but he's not on the squad.
They've been practicing harder. So imagine a Red Riot who's like stronger though. Like we know Red Riot kind of decent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like he a good support player. You know what I'm saying? So like I don't know what them other niggas can do, but I definitely think Todoroki gonna take his L. And Bakugo not taking no more L's, bro. Like he's not going. I think Bakugo not going more than Todoroki.
Here, I think this is what I'll say. Off that point, that's what just made me think about. We basically said that Class A is strong because we threw them into the fire and they came out. That's how they develop. Class B is strong because they kind of stick to the books. Here, Team 1, I would say, had at least 2 to 3 niggas that had the real world experience, right? Froppy could be argued for Kaminari, Red Riot. 2, Tokoyami didn't, Aoyama didn't, Invisible Girl didn't, Momo sort of, but not really. Like none of them actually had any real world fight.
That's true.
Thing. So now Tokudori's team.
Tokudori did fight in the.
Ida got dropped by Sting.
Yep.
So he at least had that fight there. Tokudori had he was involved in that fight, and he was in. Thought he had another real world experience.
Almost everybody in Team 1 they had real world experience with the invasion of the camp.
Yeah.
Camp. Like,
yeah. So there's a camp thing. Did he have a fight though?
Todoroki fought and
Tail Buddy fought?
Tail Buddy.
Buddy fought?
Tail Buddy wasn't there. Hand Buddy was there because remember he got one of his hands cut off.
Yeah.
So basically everybody on this team.
So they got more. They got strong, real shit experience.
He fought niggas by himself. Remember Tail Homie?
Yeah.
When they invaded the USJ, that was the first time they invaded. That nigga was like, I was stuck inside the that one area fighting by myself. She was with him, but she ain't help. So that nigga was boxing by himself, no help from nobody.
She was just sitting there
for like.
So if I argued anything, I think 3 would win over 4 because the only person with real experience on 4 is Bakugo. Like Tape Homie's been around, but like as far as real nigga fights, like I can't recall.
I agree with you 100%. Based on the team, I think their team is better. Like looking at this team, Ida Raw, Shinzo Raw, Tail Homie, like we ain't seen much of them, but like I said, in the USJ, that nigga fought real life villains for like 40 minutes by himself. Like that nigga got hands. And then we already know about Icy Hot, that nigga.
Yeah.
But on top of all that, I cannot just sit here and disrespect Bakugo. Bakugo not motherfucking going. Can you name any time Bakugo took an L?
Yeah,
this nigga
the license exists.
He whooped ass, and then niggas was hating on him because he was whooping ass, bro.
Yeah.
That nigga don't take L's.
He also got captured.
Here's how I put
Yep.
I'm saying like,
you're right. He got captured too.
He's one guy that could potentially get outstratted because there's one I don't see a stradding on a team.
He's Midoriya level strats.
Who? Take on me?
No, Bakugo. Bakugo and Midori are foils. They are the exact same character. The only difference between the two are their ideology. One idealizes what's his name?
I'm gonna have to see
because he smiles. The other one because he never.
If they win, it's solely for character development of Bakugo as a team player. That's the way I see it. 3, I could that would be the reason why I can see them winning because 3, I don't think anyone there specifically needs this as a like come up moment. Like Momo, they use that as a come up moment for Momo. And 1, it was like don't sleep on Froppy. That's the way I kind of took it. Was like, okay, y'all thought like here's some Class B nigga that's low key raw, but at the end of the day, like Froppy can still make it work. Momo was like, we still need to work on her confidence. This one, I don't really see anybody here. I feel like Tokudori is kind of learning his lesson, but maybe he has something off the last arc with Endeavor that would help him win. That would make it like a meaningful fight for him. But other than that, Ida, I don't know what he needs from this fight. I don't see him needing anything. If anything, I can see it as more of like, this nigga needs respect put on his name. like as a don't sleep on me just because I'm like a dumb strong nigga. So I can see them beating off that, and Bakugo winning his fight off of we need to show you that Bakugo can be a team player, because we still haven't really shown you that. No one's really seen it. Like, yeah, he has Red Riot and Kaminari, but like I still haven't seen the team aspect of their group. So I see off that, and if we're saying that Deku default wins, then it's whatever.
I'm not saying Deku default wins. I'm just saying that when it gets there, it's going to be 2-2 on Deku. I'm not saying he default wins, but
I mean, with Deku and Acid Girl and like arguably Mineta, because I think Deku can help him pull out his like strat stuff more. I can see. I wouldn't argue much that they would lose this fight.
Deku needs an L right here. So that's the only reason I say Deku doesn't instant win is because he needs an L right here. Like, if you notice how Deku pattern goes, he like takes some type of loss. Mm-hmm. It may not be like an ice straight up loss, but some type of loss that gets him in the mindset like, oh, I gotta get better.
Yeah.
Right? Because this is, I count this as like the in-between arcs. Like, we just got off the overhaul arc. So this like that in-between shit. Mm-hmm. So we know something big coming after this. And Deku needs to be in the mindset of like, I need to get better before that roll up.
But did he just lose against the, would you kind of say that he lost against the fight against Buddy Hooley, sipping tea? Bouncing them everywhere?
No, he whooped that nigga. Even after that nigga did a super power, he still whooped that nigga. Like, Deku low-key just came out, oh, I dropped overall, then this nigga ran up, and I whooped that nigga.
That was pretty casual.
Then I whooped him. Like, Deku too high right now. I think he gotta get knocked down. So there's a chance Deku could lose. I'm not going to talk about that one just yet. I gotta see how the other ones go. I'm not sure. But
if he loses, I would understand from a point of like, because he can still, basically what they did with Momo showed me that anybody can still take the L and get like some sort of character development, quote unquote. Because that's what they try to sell with the Momo things. Like, oh, you have to lose, but like we're still going to give you character development. So even though it's a loss, it seems like you gain something. So like I can see Deku, like now that he has this new ability, being able to explore it in this fight, but it's still not getting him all the way to the win.
I think it's going to be 2-2, and Deku's definitely going to lose. And like you say, he's going to explore ability. But the reason I think Deku has to lose is so that Shinso can win both his fights and then be entered into the hero team. So I think Deku definitely.
Aoyama gotta go. That's all I'm gonna say. If Shinso comes in, bye Aoyama. Take on me or
no. Sugar Homie.
Sugar Buddy.
So I see something from Sugar Homie. He on same chopping block.
Stop.
He gotta have diabetes, bro.
Come on. You telling me? So who would you argue? I mean, outside of comedic relief, out of who you like more, I'm just talking about raw ability.
If I was a teacher here, and I'm like, I gotta keep somebody here. In this hero.
Would you be Sugar Homie or Nipple Laser? Navel Laser.
Aoyama, and here's my reason.
Wow, he's lost everything.
Sugar Homie does not get strong enough, and his powers don't last long enough. And when he gets strong, he gets stupid. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so being a hero not all about being slow and being in a box niggas. Like, you gotta make smart plays.
But you also have to think of the business aspect of it. A better business deal is definitely with him than it is with the other guys.
What? Because he can sell sugary products?
He can sell sugary products. He's swole. He got like the typical, like, he can appeal to your young, regular dude, like regular kid. Like that 7 to 8 Power Rangers range, that's this guy.
And then another thing,
who does he appeal to?
If you've been noticing, like, the whole arc,
it's political.
The whole arc with My Hero, with the heroes right now, is not about individual strength. They all been saying like teamwork.
Right.
If you don't work with teams, you get dropped.
That nigga's a teamwork right there.
We've never even seen this nigga do shit.
Yeah. He fought on Red Riot against Concrete Buddy in the exam.
Which exam?
We got to fight against the teachers.
Yeah, where they all like fought against the teachers.
Okay, bro,
they lost.
Everybody was forced to work together, so like that don't count. I'm talking about situations where it's like, hey, bro, I go out my way to be a teamwork. Team A literally won because Aoyama was like, all right, bro, I'm gonna shoot this laser beam into the sky during the entrance exam, and everybody was like, oh, that's Aoyama's laser beam, and they grouped together. Like, literally, Team A won because of Aoyama. He's more of a team player so far. He gotta do this nigga ain't done.
I don't know, man. We'll wrap this up, but I'm not a fan of Aoyama. So far, he's been like just weird to me. I'm ready for him to go. He had his like sad moment that I thought was gonna mean some type of turn up in the last that one exam. What was it? Was it the provisional license exam? Where he got dropped and he had his like sad moment, but he ain't nowhere.
At least niggas ain't hating on Grape Juice.
I mean, he coming around. We gonna wait till his fight come though, because this is a little team. Like right now, him and Uraka. I don't know which one I'm gonna be more disappointed with when I see
let's
the
play
five
our
fight.
bets now. Who think since Bakugo or not Bakugo?
You want to use the draft points for it?
Who think Todoroki coming out with the W?
Todoroki's coming out with the W.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say yes,
I
but
think
it's
he is.
just I don't see anything here to drive them to win. It would just be a real casual win. Like I don't see the challenge. I don't see what value we're
It's
getting.
because we don't know these niggas' powers.
Yeah.
So I think it's
So
gonna
I can see it as more respect on their name because we don't know who they are.
Okay.
But this people just seem like trash. They seem like they would win over them. We need one more win, right? Is what you're saying to tie it. So either one of these two teams has to lose in your mind.
For it to be a tie. For Deku's fight to mean anything.
I'd argue that 4 wins and 3 loses. So I'd go for the L on Togudori's team.
Okay. That's basically how I see it too. Even though they got all the powerhouses.
Take Homie is a sleeper agent, and the Iragoro's like there, but I just don't feel like the strats are there.
Both of their powers are really good.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like they're.
niggas up, but she can sense people.
This is a very strong ability team. This is a very strong individual team. My thing is that I think that they can work together better than these guys can. I think they're all just strong by themselves, and together their powers might get in each other's way. Like the fact that because when he was working with Momo, he was basically like, "You gonna need to move out the way like ASAP because I'm gonna freeze all this shit." So it's like, if there's not really a plan there, they pretty much can do well just doing shit on their own. But together, I don't know how much value
Also,
they actually bring as a
I think
team.
soften the homie kind of hard counter like everybody but Todoroki. Because all you gotta do is soften the ground. Now nigga can't run, karate nigga can't run, and hands homie can't run. Like if the ground is soft, you just nullify 3 people. So
unless Todoroki made the ground ice.
well, he can soften anything. So when
What is that chick?
And then if he makes an ice, can either run on that. You know what I'm saying? So like, basically they would have to fight on ice, which would be kind of tough. I would think.
I'm trying to know. This is the guy that does the air prism stuff, right? I don't think that's the guy that was just there. Where's the chick with the horns? Because I thought we knew her power.
Nah, we don't know hers.
You mean her right here?
Oh,
Homie.
this is the air dude. So this is the guy that was.
No, that's a nigga.
They got his quirk.
That's a nigga that confused shit, ain't it?
Nothing is known about his quirk except his name.
What is it?
Jerry?
Senpai. Yeah.
Well, that sounds like some.
Probably twerks.
It seems to be classified as a straightforward power augmentation ability. I feel like we saw hers.
Definitely a horse.
Yeah, there we go. Horn cannon.
What did she do?
Pony seen charging her head first, implying that her quirks around charging things and hitting them with her horns. Charging at things and hitting them with her horns. I mean, she got a horse build for sure. Her legs is built definitely like she be running that nigga. So maybe she gonna charge that nigga Ida.
Maybe she has fast.
Nah.
Horses are known for being quick, man.
But you talking about somebody whose
She's not Ida
whole
speed.
essence is speed, like
Yeah.
Sonic.
She's definitely not gonna be Ida fast. I know
What
that for
if
sure.
Gyrate can boost quirks? What if?
It's-
And he puts her at a close enough level.
Then he would have got kidnapped a long time ago by villains.
Iron Homie definitely hard counters hands and tail homie. Like they not gonna beat that nigga up.
Mm-hmm.
And soft nigga hard counter Ida.
That's true.
So it's like I don't know. I think 3 is definitely gonna get swept, bro. I think that's gonna be the surprise that most niggas not looking up. Oh, I got Todoroki on it then. Swept. Whoa, I think they beat the fuck. Todoroki gonna be out there solo dolo like, where my team?
Yeah.
Fuck it, ice everybody.
All right. Well, let's wrap this one up. What else? Did you read Promised Neverland? Gramps.
Damn. Yeah, I read it.
Oh, okay. Let's get into that, man. I think this is 105.
Yeah, they are running up on the kids or whatever.
Wow, yeah, we actually saw some kids die.
2 kids got a dome piece.
We got some niggas got spelt, like for real.
Yep.
One out for them, or was there nobody?
There was nobody. So it's still kind of like, are you really gonna take it there? Like, are we really gonna see real niggas die? Or
I was actually like, I never saw these niggas before.
that's what I'm saying. I definitely felt
what?
the same way. I was like, they just pulled these 2 out of nowhere
Definitely
and gave them names. Mike, Chris. I was like, nigga, I ain't never heard them names before.
They were fucking decoys.
I'm telling you. Andrew was funny as hell to me though. I just like how they was trying to like reason with him, and he was like, "Shut the fuck up." Like they was like, "Yeah, we just looking for the 7 walls." He was like, "I don't care.
Yeah.
I give 0 fucks." Like, and matter of fact, now that I know you looking for them bitches, I'm gonna come out and snipe the shit out of y'all. Any of y'all peek y'all head out, y'all getting domed.
Yeah, they thought they were gonna hit us after the talk no jutsu.
I'm telling you, it didn't work at all. So other than that, yeah, I mean, there wasn't much there. I don't know how they're gonna get out of this. If they get out of this without losing any more lives besides those 2, I'm really gonna be shocked.
Let's think about it. There are humans that are killing them better than fucking demons.
Oh yeah. But I think that's because demons, they take advantage of the demons' like over cockiness.
Mm-hmm.
Like especially that last arc, they just pretty much killed all of them based off the fact that they were just way too cocky.
Yeah.
And didn't expect any of the stuff. This is the time the tables are turned. They didn't expect nothing.
Well, it's also an ambush where the kids ain't really have much.
Yeah, preparation time.
Well,
I don't know how I'm just gonna.
Well, it's not even that they didn't have time. Excuse me. They just didn't know how that they were going to come and attack them like that. They expected that the opponents did not know all of their ways of escaping and everything. Yeah. They thought that they had the upper hand in this situation.
And they got the tables turned on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it there. I don't know what else.
This is giving me hopes that they're gonna pull out some type of major strats. So I'm hoping that Ray and, even though I doubt it, Amma are gonna pull something out the pocket that's gonna be like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah, I'm hopeful that this actually means that we're gonna go back to the survival aspect of this manga, because I definitely felt like getting like 60 people in their colony was like a whole lot of motherfucking people, and it kind of ruins the whole survival part of it to me. But we'll see. I mean, if more people die and this becomes more of like a Walking Dead type of manga where, you know, you go through an arc and then you might get some new niggas, but at the end of it, like the group thins out, I think I would prefer that more from this than everybody stays alive and then at some point we have a fucking 1,000 people we're trying to like finesse in this world. Like I don't see that being realistic. But yeah, there's that. Side note, Hunter x Hunter started back up. Don't really have much to say on it, but it's back up for them Togashi fans out here, aka me. Let's do One Piece. So I think we have like just 2 chapters here.
Yep, they went over to Odin Castle.
9:19 and 9:20.
Learned that 5 or 6 people were brought from the past.
Momonosuke, and then the like ninja guy, the painter guy. I think the
Kinemon?
Kinemon, the Fire Fox Kinemon. Kiku, I think, is also part of that group.
Kiku.
And I don't know if the guy in the house was part of it. I don't think so, right?
No, that was it. It was just those people.
Yeah. I do have a question on that, but go ahead with what you were saying.
And we learned that it was because of Momonosuke's mom, who supposedly has come from even further in the past or whatever. So there's like a little bit of speculation. I was looking
about
at
the Void Century.
Yeah,
but we can't now.
I was looking at a video earlier today of some Joy Boy series, which I was like, okay, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Aside from her being able to put herself or others into the future, she also has the ability to see into the future. So she probably saw a bunch of different outcomes of the future, like the total future of the world, and probably saw that she needed to go into the future and give birth to Momonosuke and push all of them into the future in order to make some kind of outcome happen that would save the world.
I have to watch that. I think it's a reach to say that she can see into the future.
Yeah.
Just because I think her sole purpose right now is to send them to the future. Yeah, I'm interested to see. I think the statement she made about the 20 years was the fact that she knew that she sent them that far. That's the way I saw it. It was like, I think she knew, like, oh, I sent him in 20 years, and then in 20 years, like, that's the hope, because Momonosuke is like the true whatever. He's like, he has the blood to basically like fight for the throne or something.
Well, here's the thing though. If she knew that she was able to jump into the future, what was the reason that she jumped forward into that specific time, into that exact location?
The way I heard it was like that she said she came from the past, but I didn't hear that she purposefully came to that time. I heard it as like some shit happened and I like ended up here, and then she just made it work. That's the way I read it. I could have been wrong. Maybe I missed it because I'd be skimming through One Piece chapters, but I like read it as I just read it as she just said like, oh, I made it to the future. Like, I'm from the past and I'm in the future. I didn't read it as anything deeper than like she probably just discovered how to use her power, ended up in the future, like that kind of thing.
No, she didn't specifically tell everybody that she was from the past, though.
She said, she mentioned it. People never return to the past, they can travel to the future. I have ever ventured farther into the future with this strange Shogi power of mine. But there are rumors that Lady Choki was in fact born a long time ago in the ancient past. So that is like pretty much all they say about her coming from the past.
Yeah.
So I didn't take anything of that more than she probably.
But we know that she, in that situation, she could have just pushed herself into the future in order to avoid being killed.
I was actually more confused at why she didn't push her daughter to the future. This is what I never understood, because when I saw that this girl was here, they talk about Momonosuke. Yeah, they talk about her daughter, and I'm like, so why did you not push her daughter to the future?
Oh, Loki did not peep the daughter.
Yeah, that's why I was super confused. But I was just like, so first of all, maybe she did push her to the future, and she's somewhere there. We don't know. But I was like, but even if she was, it would be pretty hard because Momonosuke is still the age he was then. So she would still be a little kid, so it wouldn't really be beneficial for her to get. It's not like we're gonna see like an older version of her, but also maybe she survived and lived the 20 years, so she is out here doing something. But I just thought it was super weird that we just ignored the sister part, which makes me think, oh, there's something there with Oda.
Mm-hmm. That was a good catch because he's definitely gonna pull it out the pocket.
Yeah. So there was definitely something weird there. I'm like, they definitely explicitly call her out, but then they say that they didn't send her to the future. So I'm just like, so you just let your daughter die? That just doesn't add up to me. Mm-hmm. But you let Momonosuke live? Like, I'm pretty sure.
But do you really think that the rest of the village would have let her live? So maybe she pushed her into maybe like a year or 5 years into the future instead.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm wondering. Yeah, I don't know if she stayed in there
because maybe she wanted her to grow up to become strong enough to help them fight.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so I'm like, yeah, we could either see that.
So she would.
I would think that is a more likely theory than that she sent her at the same time as all of these people, because she would still need to put. Yeah, something would still need to be put. Somebody would still need to protect her.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, either she didn't get sent at all and was able to find a way to not get burnt, or you can argue that she got sent like maybe a couple of years and then was able to grow up.
But even if she didn't get burned, she's still only a baby or whatever. They would have eventually found her and killed her.
But I mean, they have associates or whatever. They got the new dudes with like the moon thing on their leg, so it's possible that she could have just handed them off to one of them.
No, but they would have got killed too, because people.
No, clearly they didn't, because 20 years later, like, there's still people here that are fucking with him. I think he killed the royal family.
No, what I'm saying is Kaido and the rest of his gang had already started burning down the castle that everybody was inside of already, so they were essentially trapped by Kaido's crew, and she was the only one that came out of that castle after, I guess, it burned down or some shit, and they were like, yeah, you know you're about to die, right?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming if anybody were to also escape from that burning castle, unless there's a secret exit somewhere that nobody knew about, then I don't see any way that the little girl would have gotten out of there alive. I
mean, either way, I think we just argued on the same point. How it happened just kind of is whatever, which Oda will explain. So, but I think we're on the same page that, I mean, she's probably around here somewhere. Yeah. In an older form.
And she's strong as hell.
I don't know about strong. It's One Piece terms. Come on, be real. Like this, if anything, I wouldn't see her being better than these 6 knights that got sent to the future. I couldn't. Could you?
Man, I'm gonna put some respect on her name.
You really think she would be stronger than Kinemon or any of them?
She's going through a tragic moment. Lost everybody.
Who would train her?
She knows.
to get her that strong. That's my
I mean,
take.
it's a land of samurais.
And at the same time, she's a baby, so like whoever found her, like how would they even know? You know what I mean? The connection and all that. She would have to do the same kind of thing. All right, he said he probably not gonna make it back. So, but yeah, I mean, other than that, I think I'm ready for the flashback because I mean, obviously we're gonna get one. It doesn't never not happen in One Piece arcs. So we're gonna get the flashback of the village and all this other stuff and what happened on there. I just want to see. I'm interested to see what his dad looks like and how strong he actually was. The dog and cat thing is interesting.
Honestly, this chapter was kind of confused because it seemed like it was just jumping all over the place.
Yeah.
It was like shit that yeah, like skipped over or something.
What do you mean?
Because it seemed like out of nowhere they just started talking about it from the perspective of the dog, but it's like, hold on, wait. How was he continuing the conversation if he didn't already start what he was talking about or whatever? No, I don't know. The chapter just seemed like there was no continuity to it at some point.
I can give you that, yeah. And then also they said they're gonna try to do another secret operation to invade Kaido's thing. I don't know why any of them think that they're anywhere near close enough to make this plan legit. Mm-hmm. Like, even if it's a secret operation, we know what happened on Big Mom's Island. Mm-hmm. We know that Kinemon and his whole group is 100% weaker. The only people who we have that could even stand a chance would be the dog and the cat, because they're the only people who took on Jack for that long piece of time. So they're the only people I would argue could even
but then they're also
be on that island.
But they're also weaker now at this point because they got their limbs chopped off.
So even now they're not even a possibility.
No, they're not.
So it's like, I don't know why they think that that's a smart plan. Like, I get maybe I'll be able to take on the fodder, but like there are two other real niggas. We get that Jack is the strongest, but there still are two other calamities. Calamities that we're gonna have to deal with. And Zoro, maybe we could argue he tried to take on one of them. Yeah. Because now Luffy was able to defeat Dogtooth, so I guess that means he should be able to 1v1 Jack. I'll just go ahead and put that out there. But to think that Sanji and Zoro would be able to take the other two, I still think is a reach. Because we've barely seen Sanji beat niggas in.
I mean, maybe with the hope of the other characters from the worst generation, maybe Law and maybe Hawkins will betray and shit like that. Maybe they can jump some calamities that way, but
a collab with Law and Luffy on Jack, I could see potentially working. Maybe. Hawkins, sure. Hawkins or Zoro, whatever. Maybe. The collabs will be able to help. I think if Killer is still alive, it'd be cool for him to join the team. Mm-hmm. We know Kid, like when they free that nigga, like he gonna be trash. And then we gotta figure out where X-Drake really stands.
You said Kid's gonna be trash?
Yeah, right now he is. I mean, he's
injured.
Not actually trash, but I mean, like by the time they free him, like maybe One Piece Shonen magic, like I guess he'll be strong enough to fight. But I would think that he shouldn't. The one thing that's still open that could potentially help them is X-Drake, because my assumption is that X-Drake is on Kaido's crew, not because he fucks with him and wants to be his subservient or whatever. That's because he actually has some other agenda he's trying to accomplish. Mm-hmm. So I think once he sees Luffy there, he'd probably be able to join the squad. And Scratchman, I don't want him to join the squad, but
because he seemed like he trash.
Yeah, but he's not really trash, but I just don't like him as a person. As a whole character, he's just not really interesting. I mean, he technically was the only person to really do damage to Kizaru, so. Mm-hmm. But I think they might be able to convince Scratchman to join, and then we just have a bunch of supernovas versus these guys, and maybe if we're lucky, we get a nice grouping type of arc. Because I kind of hate how One Piece does it, but maybe they'll change it with this fight. I hate how they do the whole all right, well, we're gonna have to fight through all these motherfuckers, and then before we get to the big Luffy important fight, we'll do like these one-off fights that aren't as interesting. But now with these supernovas, I'll actually be interested in the side fights. So yeah, looking forward to that. But I don't think that we're being hella ambitious thinking this plan is gonna work, like from their perspective. Like if I was in the One Piece world sitting at this meeting, I would just be like, what? You guys are definitely reaching. Like how the fuck are we ever supposed to beat these motherfuckers? Exactly. From the like reading the meta perspective, I can see it. But Kinemon ambitious as hell. That's all I can say. Alright. That's One Piece. We're gonna skip 7 Deadly Sins of Black Clover and let's get on to some decent news. I think, right?
Yep.
So
you said, oh, you sure?
I said sure.
What do we want to talk about? We want to get political first. We want to get political at the end.
Isn't that all political?
No, not really. Because you said you had phone news, and then we just do a brief 5 minutes of this is the draft we're doing.
I mean, the thing I was doing is just a quick announcement. It's not really anything.
Oh, I thought we was going to discuss because you want to talk about black racism.
Well, I think he's talking about the phone.
Oh, you're talking about the phone?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Let's get the quick stuff out the way now.
Yeah, OnePlus 6T that's coming out.
I already got the OnePlus 6, so I ain't getting the T.
Assassin's Creed is coming out if you fuck with it. No, it actually came out. I think a day or two ago.
What's that? Where are they at now?
They're in the ancient. They're in the battle between the Spartans and the I forgot the other crew.
Persians?
No. The ones that use brains over bronze. It's the two. Yeah, I think it's Athens.
Athenians, I guess?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're going against each other, and you gotta it's a lot more of an RPG aspect to it. You get to choose how you have conversations with people, how you set up romances, which side you're gonna go with. Whether you want to go with the brute of the Spartans or the brains of the Athenians.
So Greece, we not gone to Greece before yet in Assassin's Creed?
No.
Oh, I guess they still find stuff.
Athens wins.
Yep. Yeah, there's one guy who does game theory. He already he went over all of that and went, according to history, you probably want to go with Athens. Whatever you want to go.
Why would you play a game to be historical though? That's so wild. I feel like that takes the fun out of the game. The whole point of adding the choice to the game is I'll just go with the precedent. What? No, I want to do what I feel like is fun.
I want to kill George Washington.
You know what I mean? Saying that's what made Mass Effect fun for me. It was I do what the fuck I want. Yeah, that was.
And the third one.
In 1, I actually felt good about it, but in 3, yeah, we know what that means. How that ended.
Disappointment.
Sad song.
They should have gave us 10 different endings with that game.
People are just not doing it. My problem is I feel like I get it from separate games. And they need to make one game that does it. So when I played Detroit Become Human, the decision part of that game was really strong, but there was no gameplay to it. I'm all they have to do is just take that engine and slap it on a Mass Effect game, and you get what everybody was asking for.
Wait, what you mean there was no gameplay? It was just decision?
I mean, you make these decisions, and there's a very small aspect of gameplay, but it's not really a game. The game is the decision. The game is what am I going to do here?
So it's like Until Dawn?
It's a bunch of quick time events. Most of the game is quick time events. If you play as the cop character, you're doing, you do these Batman type of investigations. And that's the game. It's hey, investigate this area and then basically remap the crime. And then you go into you do that, and then after you do that, you have some conversations to make some more decisions, and then you move on with his story.
Yeah, it would have been nice if you could just, be walking around and be you know what? I'm not going to solve this crime. I'm going to go do some other shit.
No, you can't. It's not even free. It's not even free roam like that.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. But the decision engine there, the ability, after you finish the game, you saw all the possible decisions you could have made, and you can see their endings. If they hit that, because I don't really want to know that when I would play Mass Effect, I don't think I'd want to know that necessarily. I want it to feel. It'd give the illusion that there were more decisions. Once you find out all the possible maps, you're kind of oh, this isn't that different. You know what I mean? So if they hit that but borrowed that engine, I think Mass Effect would be like, alright.
Much better.
That would be the game I'd be satisfied with playing.
Mm-hmm.
And same problem with No Man's Sky. I'm like, okay, you allowed me all this exploration, but then what?
What's the end goal?
Yeah.
Wow.
Man, you feel like that one has it? Has it all?
I mean, there's so much decision making you can do. Sure, it don't affect like the main storyline, but there's so many side stories that like.
It don't matter.
How many niggas complete the main storyline?
Not me. Kingdom Hearts 3 though.
Shit not coming out.
I'm worried about the pre-order. I gotta pre-order that bitch.
Yeah, remember
Pre-orders are out.
It was gonna come out
Yeah,
like a year ago, and it's still not out.
that's okay.
And then they gonna keep doing that to you every year.
Hey, bro, I'm pre-ordering. I'm gonna put
Another
it down.
trailer every year.
I know, motherfuckers been thinking this game gonna come out since my sophomore year of high school.
These niggas want some John Q shit to happen. So I'm gonna go up to fucking Square Enix on some John Q shit, pull a gun out. Yeah.
My niggas gonna bury me after I play Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yo, niggas, better put this game out. I'm not playing. Well, let me stop saying that on a thing that gets put out to the internet, because people be taking that shit seriously.
Yep.
And you know them Japanese, they some scary niggas, bro. I don't want nobody. Samurai cut down this whole dude.
It's racist.
Like, we can't be racist. I don't know what you're talking about.
We don't get into it.
The racism where it goes like here, and then it's. And it finds the nearest white
He
person.
says like, oh, he's like, oh, you black? Oh, never mind.
And then he looks for the nearest white person to just smack that nigga on the head.
They just look up.
What? Oh, you got past it all, man. Oh, yeah. Anything else you want to add?
No.
All right. So we talked about it like probably a bunch of episodes ago, but we're doing this anime draft for the fall anime. So we picked what anime we're gonna do. We're all gonna watch the first episode, so probably next week we will let y'all know next week we'll let y'all know what our teams are probably. But basically the three animes we picked were Goblin Slayer, Toharu Majitsu no Index, but really it's certain medical index, right? 3. And Hinamaru Zumo, which is some sumo anime. We came out with a rough point system. Basically, you get 1 point for an appearance in the show. You get 8 points for winning a fight. 2 points if you win based off strats. 2 extra points. 1 variable point if you beat some fodder in a fight. 5 points for new powers or a power reveal. 5 points for admitting they have a love interest. And if you do an overkill win on, I guess, a semi-decent strong character, fodder don't count, we give you an extra 2 points. So we'll go over this again next week when we actually start picking teams. But
And remember, this is subject to change. This isn't the final draft of everything.
Sure. So points may change, people may change, but it's gonna be fun. So
yeah.
you guys can watch it along with us. Keep your own teams and tell us what your points are, either through Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, however you get to us. Just let us know. And yeah, at the end of the season, we'll pick a winner and we'll decide what that loser or losers or winners have to do. That's it. All right, so last piece of news. Jason Van Dyke is his name?
Yes.
So the verdict finally came down. I mean, this is Chicago news because we all live in the city. Or do we? Don't want no niggas pulling up.
I mean, you can pull up. You got snake drops, right?
Hey, hood genies, man. Hood genies lined up on my front porch.
Hood genies and snake man.
Talking about, you see something you like? Oh, okay, keep it moving.
Dang, what if they had a snake man and he had a hood genie in the back? So it's like the nigga hop out, he just rode the lamp, and he go, let's go. So then it's like a raw ass martial artist and a hood genie dropping niggas.
Then you did.
I mean, so he paid for a supreme snake.
Yeah, I know, right? This motherfucker balling this shit, ain't
Oh
it?
yeah, sure. They got bread.
That's like I need him to drop. I need him to drop.
You might as well hire a hitman, which we don't do.
Yeah, it's no killing. It's just straight up ass whooping.
So like that amount of money, you might as well.
I mean, but that's a genie, so you ain't got no control over what he decides to do.
You definitely need a hood genie and a snake man for.
Definitely not just gonna grant you a wish though. Like, you gonna get it. So.
On the back here.
Hood shit gonna be raping motherfuckers. You tripping, bro.
Yeah.
That's wild.
So this Jason Van Dyke guy, what they convict him? Was it second degree murder?
Yeah, I think second degree murder.
16 counts of battery.
Each bullet was a different charge.
Wow, so he fully shot the guy all those times. I thought it was multiple cops that shot Laquan. So it was just him that did it?
He got 6.
That changes.
He got either 6 or 16 years per bullet. So yeah, you know he died in jail.
That's a wrap for him.
Oh yeah.
What I will say though, before we get into that racism thing, is what do you feel like this means? Do you feel like this is a precedence, or do you feel like this is an appeasement to black people?
Because I feel like this changes like nothing.
Okay.
If I'm being personal about like, so like when you look at like all this stuff that's going around in all these cities, like cops shooting people, like if you're being honest, like that don't happen that often in Chicago. Chicago is a fairly liberal city. Like people, don't get me wrong, there's racism in Chicago, but it's like passive aggressive racism. People don't be walking around in Chicago just like black ass. Yeah. Like, they don't do that. Like this is a very liberal city. So like I knew it was gonna take time because, you know, it always takes time. But that dude was gonna get the axe. Like, it's Chicago. If he did this in like, I don't know, Atlanta or something, somewhere down south, Austin, Texas, maybe he'd been good. But I already knew he was gonna get it. He wasn't gonna get off.
But we still know that something like this should not have taken this fucking long. There was a million pieces of evidence against this fucking cop that made him guilty.
I mean, sure, but you know, maybe he got a lawyer. There are unions and shit that protect you. And like, you know, if we not there, it's so easy to damn people. But like, you know, I just say let the court do their thing. They got their job, let them do their thing.
You did everything incorrectly against the book.
I don't know that. I just know what people told me. You know what I'm saying? Habeas corpus. We have to prove him guilty. They don't have to prove he's innocent. Mm-hmm. And like that's my thing. A lot of people, they get really absorbed into like the race thing, and we so ready to damn a person. Even if we talk about like Bill Cosby, for example, we get so ready to damn a person. Just like let people do their job. That's the reason we have a society. Let the courts be a court. Do their court shit. If you don't trust them, go be a fucking lawyer or a judge then.
I think, well, first of all, I feel like, all right, saying go be a judge or whatever, like, yes, that's a good thing, but at the same time, it's going to take, these are like systems that have been put in place. It takes a long time to change these things. It's the whole thing. So even if you go do that, you might still not be able to fix the problem. And what I want to say is like, I think this is like the equivalent to me like when Barack Obama became president. Like we were like, oh yeah, this is great. You know, we have a black person as president, but I don't feel like it set a precedent for more black presidents. I felt like it was like, we got a black president. And it's like, the way people might be seeing this is like, oh yeah, we got this, but I don't think this will change how these types of trials are handled across the board in any other state. I think there's still going to be more white cops that get off for doing this, or whatever color cop it is in general. Like if someone innocently kills a black person or any other person and they're a cop, I think the law, from what I understand, I haven't done a whole bunch of research on this, so don't quote me, but the law is definitely in favor of the police, which to a degree makes sense because it's like, okay, as a cop, like they are going to be in these violent situations more. There probably needs to be some protections. They're not going to have to be handled in the same way as like a regular person who involved in the same situation. So I get that, but the problem comes is like now we're realizing that this is being abused to help them get off because they made a mistake and the mistake is never getting corrected. So it's like, okay, they're making a mistake. And it's not like, oh, it's just this one-off mistake. It's like they're doing this, and no one's learning the lesson of like, let's stop doing this.
I don't think no one's learning the lesson though.
You think so? You think it's getting fixed?
That's my thing with the media, where it's like, and
you're right. I should say that this is the way it's being portrayed to me from the information I'm consuming like through the world, which is not a whole lot because I'm not super deep into it. So this might actually be getting fixed. But I think the way most people are perceiving the problem is that it is not getting fixed.
And the reason why I'm like kind of not on this is because I work in a profession where you always under the microscope. And then people are like, yeah, something happens, this should get fixed. But people are like, oh, it's never getting fixed. But I can tell you, like, it do. Like, for example, when it came out that one fucking gym coach was like touching kids, and now there's like this CPS-wide like re-fingerprinting, like everybody got to get like retested, and it's like this huge nightmare. And I'm pretty sure countrywide there are police groups that have to go through like all types of new training and stuff like that, and it can probably get really crazy. And like I get that, but I don't think that's going to hit your target demographic. Like, I don't think the people that are ready to shoot an innocent black man, I don't think sending them to more training is what's going to.
If anything, is going to make it more annoying for them.
It's like this thing that if you have a bunch of kids being late to class, so you decide like, oh, we gonna create harsher punishments for being late. You aren't actually hurting the kids that are coming late. They already used to these punishments. You just hurt like this medium group of people, right? So it's like, where does your punishment, how does that affect people, and is it really gonna make a change, right? And I think that this guy getting this sentencing is cool. Good job, book him. But is that gonna make a change in America? No. One, because it didn't get pushed up to like Supreme Court.
Yeah.
So it doesn't.
They didn't say any precedent. Yeah.
Right. But.
And then the next thing I'd say on that is that I felt like this verdict created probably some more racists in the world. Because like, while I don't know 100%. I think I don't know the law well enough to know if that punishment is equivalent for the crime he did. That's what I'll say. I think that he should definitely be punished for shooting someone. But I think that from the perspective of his family who see him, like, we just got two more racists, I'm pretty sure. Like, I'm pretty sure they're seeing it, they're seeing the way, because I don't think whatever he did and whatever his true intention was, whether he was racist or not, I can't verify that because I'm not in his head. I just know what I saw in the video, and I know what I'm hearing, the narrative I hear from what the world forces me to consume, which is like my feed, which is probably liberal. So I only hear like the liberal side of things, which makes him look like a racist. I don't know if he's actually a racist or not, but what I do know is that like probably his kid and his wife who had to watch him go through this and probably got people calling them, talking shit about them, whatever it is, I'm sure they are not a fan of black people at the end of this.
And there's
so
two more racist people.
Yeah, exactly. So even though we try to like solve this problem, at the same time, I feel like we just added two more racists to the book, which
I feel like this has to do with like this thing. I was just having a conversation about like it had to do with religion and like this whole deal of like you do bad things and you go to hell for all eternity. And it's kind of like, isn't that bit harsh of a punishment? Like, what could you possibly do to deserve eternity of damnation? And that kind of plays into what people go on. Like, so let's say if this guy was given less than life, people would outrage. And so my argument is like, dude, what is a life sentence in prison going to do for anybody? Like, even if this dude were to have killed my own brother, yeah, I want him to serve time, but I also want him to be changed, right?
Right, rehabilitated. That's the thing, is we live in this world of like, we want to see him punished. Yeah. The most people want to see him punished. They don't want the problem fixed. They want like, this hate I have for the fact that this happens, I want that to be resolved. So I want you to like ruin his life. But at the end of the day, ruin his life is not fixing the problem.
It just creates more problems.
Exactly, it's making it worse. And I think that's what people don't see. It's like, yes, we made an accomplishment because someone is actually getting punished for the wrongdoing that they did. But at the same time, like, you do have to understand that you ruined the man's life, and the very system that we now are talking about is so horrible. We put him in that system, so now he's not going to get rehabilitated. So regardless if he comes back out, more than likely he's coming back out with more hate than he went in with.
Dude, I saw some people that were flipping because he was apparently, I don't know how true it is, but he was allowed to keep his pension. I don't know the truth behind that. I can't imagine a group of people that would be allowed to keep their pension. But anyway, it was like he was allowed to keep his pension. And I'm just like,
isn't it just gonna help his family stay
exactly? That's
like,
what I'm saying.
Do you want his family to die now
Some
too?
people are just so hateful. Yeah. They just like, no, I want to see this nigga, his whole family rot in hell for eternity. I'm like, bro, there is nothing a person can do that's that bad.
And I see the argument of like, okay, at the end of the day, you ruined the family, so we should ruin your family. But it's like the eye for an eye thing. Yeah, it's like at a certain point, it's like, I don't know what we want as black people. Like, do we want the aggression, or do we want like a different way. I wouldn't say better. I'm just gonna say, do we want to think about a different way? But we gotta like make up our mind, because I feel like doing the two things is weird. Like if you just want the violence, you want everyone to like pay for their past transgressions, then all right, let's do that. But like, is it gonna fix at the end? Then you have to weigh what is enough. When have you paid for it? And then after that means you can't say shit else. Like after they say, okay, fine, I'm doing it, it means you can never bring these arguments up again. Right. And it's like, so if you're not doing that, then the real solution is like, let's fix the problems. So I understand what I'm dealing with today, but like, let's make sure tomorrow is better. And then let's make sure the day after that is better, and so on and so forth. But these are all hard problems to solve. I just think we live in this world of where we're just like so siloed, and it's hard to say like the opposite to someone's opinion, especially if it's on the liberal side, because then it's turned into a way of like, you're evil.
Yeah.
Right? It's spin on its head to say like, okay, no, you're wrong.
I've gotten into so many arguments like that. Like, trust me, I'm like a liberal person that gets into argument with
other
radical liberals. Because like, man, every liberal argument there's like the group of people that take it too far. Like, even if we're talking about like the black equality, there is a point where you go from bringing up like awareness of your cause to like now you're going overboard with it. And that brings me into the whole thing about when black people say that black people can't be racist. All right, boop, you're going overboard with the argument. We can be racist. Well, I'll wait until we can get to that whenever you're ready.
You know, I'm really down on that side, but like
I didn't know that, bro. Bro, I know you.
But I'll try to argue the contrary part. Like, I understand why people can feel like they can say that. That's what I was saying.
So like,
do I look, to me at the same time, like, and this might be, maybe I'm wrong in saying this, but like us wanting us to be better, just like you said, I think it gets to a point of like, yes, we should be treated equally, but then there's gonna get to this point where it's like, okay, we are here. Well, hopefully it gets to this point of, hey, we are here. Then after that, it becomes black nationalism, which if I say white nationalism, like, you know, you immediately see that as racist, because that's saying, hey, like, my race is better than all these other races. So, and that's technically what we say, but we're saying it in a way of like uplifting us to get to equality right now. That's why we're saying it, which is why it's seen as okay. We're saying like, hey, yeah, black people are kings, we're this, we're all that. Right. All this is a form of nationalism. Yeah, like, these are all a form of like black nationalism, but it's all to get us to hopefully a point of equality. Dude, but if you do it past that part, it's racism.
My thing is though, like, there are some people that are educated and understand that that's what's going on. Where you hyping yourself up to get to equality, and then after that, you should definitely stop with that whole kings and queens shit. Because you're not a fucking king and queen, or else wouldn't have been a slave. But there is a lot of people out there that don't know that, right? I've literally had an Uber driver tell me how there's like a magical chemical in melanin, which is why that we superior to other races. I was like, yeah, bro, you sound real racist. I'm gonna put my headphones in. Like, there are people out there that are not educated enough to understand that that's what's going on, and you get this whole group of confused people, like Controller 6 or whatever the hell he was. I don't even know if y'all remember. My roommate, anyway, he would use the argument of black people can't be racist to say some of the wildest things about other races. And then I was like, dude, you cannot say that. Like,
hold on, bro, I got this I can't be racist shit, so I'm gonna say some racist shit real quick.
Like, no, I can say that because I'm black. I can't be racist. And then people don't even know numbers. People are like, oh no, black, we at the bottom of the totem pole. We're not at the bottom of the totem pole as far as education, as far as money. There's a whole group of people that are even lower than us. They're called Native Americans. This is their land, and they are the poorest group. So like, we aren't even at the bottom. So you can't use that argument. But like, I guess, so here's the thing. People say that black people can't be racist because, one, they chose to choose a definition for racism.
They chose to choose a definition for racism.
They chose to choose one of the, like, there's like 3 definitions for like racism. If you're talking Webster, they were like, oh, instead of these 2 that would make us racist, let's just pick this one because it's all about systematic racism. They're like, oh, since racism has to be systematic and we don't control the macro system, we can't be racist. But it's like, okay, one, there are two other definitions. So you're racist under 2 out of 3.
Yep.
And then with that one, the argument I have towards people is that sure, we may not control the system that is America, but there are systems that black people control. For example, if we just talked about the South, so we had a white podcast member and we treated him as less because he was white. That's a system. It's a micro system that black people control, and therefore we are racist. Like, and if there is one example of that, it eliminates your entire argument. But I try not to argue it too much because I know black people, they just trying to lift themselves up.
Yeah.
But there's too many ignorant motherfuckers out there that like take it too far.
That's what I'm saying. That's the.
What you said is you against black folks.
Yeah. And that's the problem. It's like, even if like certain people heard this, they'd be like, you guys are all wrong. This is horrible to say. But it's like, you have to be comfortable seeing the opposite side.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like, my heart tells me that I'm on the side of Laquan McDonald, and it sucks that all this happened. But at the same time, I do have to think that, like, not only was his life ruined, but this guy's life is ruined. And I don't care that much about his life, but I do care about, I am interested in the lives of the people that he deals with every day, because they're only seeing his side. Just like I only see the Laquan McDonald side through the internet and all that stuff because of how I interact with the world. The world gives me back liberal ideas. But they are coming from his side, which is a completely different side. And I don't know what they're seeing on that side that could be affecting how we can come together in the future. Because if they're seeing nothing but like, look at how they ruined this white man's life. If they see people coming up to him and like maybe people are beating him up in the street, I don't think that's happening. But like just horrible things are happening to him from that perspective, and they know him as a person, and maybe he's not a racist person because we think he's a racist person, but maybe he's a regular dude that made a mistake. I don't know. I really don't know the answer to these questions. But if he is that, then they're seeing someone that they care about being like, bastardized, I guess, and that is gonna build some sort of hate in their system, which manifests itself in maybe one of them motherfuckers is responsible for giving niggas jobs, and now 3 black people don't get a job because of what this guy experienced. I don't know the downstream effects of this, but like the hate, the we want this man to suffer because he has to carry the sins of all these other white cops. That's where we start to get into a problem, because that's what they do to us. And we hate that, but we think it's okay to do it back. But I'm like,
hey, I agree 100%.
Yeah.
100%. I couldn't say it.
I mean, the whole thing that black people are supposed to be fighting for is, okay, we want people to receive the necessary consequences for their actions when they're blatantly killing somebody who's innocent, didn't do shit wrong, and was following the rules that this country places upon us, whatever, right? But it's more of a matter of cops understanding, okay, if I were to do this, then I will obviously face whatever consequences. Not more of, okay, yeah, let's just automatically bash any cop that is racist out there. You're gonna have racist cops no matter what. I mean, you're gonna have racist people across this country no matter what. But it's more of a matter of, they should understand that, okay, if I were to practice my racism in a brash way, such as killing this guy who's right in front of me and didn't do shit wrong, then I'm gonna face X, Y, Z consequences for it, because being racist is not wanted within this country or whatever. So I have to basically like hide my tendencies of what I really want to do. That's more of what should be the fight that people are going for.
What I see, and I think that raises a bigger question too, which is like, two things. What do we want people to learn from? And 2, what is the most effective way to get a message? Because to be honest, like the jail system and prison system, it's fear. Like that's the whole thing. Like this whole sentence thing is trying to influence change by fear. Because if I see this and I see that other thing and I see that he got this much time, I'm now scared to do something, and that's what's gonna prevent me from doing it. But the answer becomes, is that what we qualify as a good solution to that problem, that just everyone's too afraid to act on their racism, or is the goal that we don't want people to be racist? And I don't know what that is. Like, the answer to that question is really what people have to decide. I don't know what the right answer is. It sounds like the other one is right, but I don't know.
This is the argument I would make, and this is like, So, like, okay, a lot of the time we will have arguments. You'll notice that sometimes I'm just like, all right, fuck it, let's just all go back to being cavemen. Shoot each other up.
No, but that's the thing though. It's all part of our human nature. It's the whole category of otherism.
Yeah.
So whether it's a race or your age group or your sex or whatever, humans are always gonna practice otherism. In which you're saying, okay, this little group of people is part of my group, and everybody else is a other. So fuck the others. If you're not part of my group, then you're less than me or whatever.
But wait. The second part is, I don't know if that's true. I feel like the first part you said is true, but I don't. The second part of like, because you belong to my group, that means fuck everybody else.
100%.
Is that true?
100%.
No, not for everybody, but not for everybody, but the whole concept of otherism, of you're outsiders and this other
that part I agree with. That people always like try to find something to bring together.
That's the thing that's human. Yeah, that's the thing that's human nature. But that can one path that can lead to is
hate.
Is okay if you're not part of my group. If you're part of the outsiders, then fuck you.
That is human nature.
It is 100% human nature to basically have zero empathy for people that you can't see and people you aren't connected with. There's already been studies on this.
Okay.
But basically,
okay.
So like, if we're just thinking about it, like,
I definitely can see the truth in that.
Look at all the electricity we're using. Like, look at all the resources we're consuming just for entertainment, effectively.
Yeah.
By me putting this message out to you, I'm consuming massive watts of energy that could go to somebody else to provide food. By literally saying, fuck some kid out there that's sitting in the dark right now so that I can have my energy. Right? I have a dog. My dog eats better than some people in the world. And I literally, every day I feed my dog, I say, hey, fuck you guy. My dog needs to eat better than you. Right? So like, it is 100%. And every day, we all just sit there and we okay with it. We know people in Flint, Michigan drinking lead
Still
water.
not really drinking
and I'll be
water.
sipping my water. Easy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, if you cannot see the person, you are not as connected to
the
what's
problems.
going on in their world.
Okay.
Right? I definitely think that's human nature. And that's something that maybe we can evolve from.
No, I think it's necessary to have that.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't, then you're crippled by decisions.
Mm-hmm.
You won't be able to make any decisions if you literally have to weigh out the awareness of all the people that lack because of what you gain. There's no way to move forward without that. So I can. That's just a.
There will always be haves and have-nots.
Yeah.
You know. But then, like, my thing.
I mean, we proved communism don't work.
But I wasn't speaking on the term of just because you don't see them, you're not thinking about their issues. It's more of, okay, you're not part of what my group is, so fuck you. We're above you, and you know everything about you should be shit compared to what I have, and so forth. And everybody that's part of my end group.
Yeah, I think that's
but some people are like that. That's the thing, though. Yeah. That's where we have some of the, people like KKK and all of that shit.
I misunderstood
Some people take that to the extremes, and of course there are different levels of extreme for it.
I refuse to believe that there are very many well-educated KKK members. I'm a firm believer that the majority of I sit back and think like I am better than you because my skin white.
See, I think educated is a trigger word because I don't think education is dependent on your worldview necessarily. I think it influences it, but I don't think it can change certain biases, right? I think there are certain experiences that will that change a bias, but I think if I grew up in a racist family and we were all well educated, we all had PhDs, right? Because I think the education you're talking about is different than what people are hearing.
Educated, as in
actually think about the world. Yeah,
globally minded individual.
I think that's what you would have said because I think
book educated.
People hear that as book smart. Yeah, and that's wrong because you can be book smart and racist for sure.
because we gotta be PC and everything we say at this point, right?
I mean, you gotta make sure you clarify all this shit because people will confuse it.
Does not mean you got PhDs and doctoral degrees. Well educated means that you're a globally minded citizen. You could be as dumb as a brick, but at least you reasonably understand things around the world and your place within it, then you can consider yourself well educated. Which there are some people that cannot have access to that because they don't have shit and therefore are not well educated. Yeah,
because you can be sheltered your entire life. You can even still travel the world and be super smart and still not have that global-minded knowledge.
Because you have your blinders
Because
on.
because it's like if I'm rich and they put me in the same hotel every time I go out of the country, and I go to the same places every time that have the same people, like, I'm not gonna learn
This is
anything
one
else.
thing I've been thinking about for a while, and it's kind of like once we get down through all these like racist arguments, it's like it always this question: who are you to have the right to tell somebody what they should believe, right? So who am I to tell somebody that they can't be racist? You know what I'm saying? Like, as a government, sure, your government shouldn't be racist because they're for the people. People don't want that. But as an individual, like, who am I to say that that's the right way to live? And like, I think as I've been getting older, I've been thinking more about like, what is the right way to live? And it's all just a perspective, right?
Yeah.
So, like,
Well, the thing is, it's how much your perspective detriments not the forward movement, but the progression of humankind. I think that is when you can start to define something as wrong. Murdering people is a detriment to humankind because it's like, okay, you're reducing our numbers. You're also cutting the potential those people had to have positive influence in the world. So racism, while I don't think, to boil it down, I don't think everyone should I see everyone as equal is a bad word, but like, I don't think that racism should be totally eradicated. What I'm trying to say is like, I think that it's okay that I see the differences in a white person from me. It's okay that I see the differences in a Hispanic person. And it's okay that I challenge those differences at times too, because that's how we get better. So it's okay if I notice that maybe Hispanic people tend to have more kids than other people. Like, if I said that a different way, that could be a racist statement. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, noticing that allows me to connect with their cultural values. Well, why do they have more kids than other people? Okay, now I'm learning more about their culture. So to a degree, I don't think we should be to a point where we see everyone as the same, because that's wrong. Everyone is different. And I think right now,
when people say I'm colorblind, like, do shut up.
yeah, it's impossible. Like, there are differences in people's cultures and upbringings that are always going to come up. Like, people who grew up like on the north side of Chicago versus the south side of Chicago have completely different lives. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Some people grow hot dog buns on their hot dog.
But yeah, I think it's to the point where your racism starts to affect humankind. Like, one of the things that bothered me is, like, my sister's a nurse. She told me about this white lady nurse that's at her job, and she's racist. And because of that racism, she doesn't give certain paperworks to black people. Like, you're supposed to give, like, people like this information about like free stuff they can get if they can't afford their medical bill, like all these services that they can help to give healthcare services, even though they might not have the money. Because she feels like they're abusing the system, she doesn't give them this stuff. And I'm like, even if 100 of these people don't do it, if that one person does get benefit from it,
okay,
like, that's
so
fucked
this
up.
is my argument. That has less correlation to do with her racism and more correlation with her not being a proper citizen, right? And so when I say proper citizen, this is that thing where I say, like, yeah, you should have the right to judge what somebody does who is doing a different job, but effectively, to a degree, you need to trust that other people do their job. Like, that is a civilization, right? So she isn't trusting, because it's not her job to delegate who gets this, right? So she isn't trusting that somebody else, whoever's job it is to delegate that, isn't doing her job. She's breaking down what it is to be a society, right? By not letting other people do their fucking job. Does it come from her racism?
Yeah.
Possibly. Should she still be allowed to be racist? Sure. Now, if she could just let people do their fucking job and continue to be racist in her own fucking head, do whatever fuck you want.
I mean, that's why it's dangerous if anybody invents a way to read minds, I think that they would kill that person.
I don't think
to be honest,
should be a thing.
I don't think that. I think once they do that, though, if we're able to live in a society where you can truly connect to somebody, like read their mind, we fixed it. I'm telling you, we fixed all the problems. Because if you really know what someone like truly thinks about you, if you can like sit there and like deal with the day-to-day thoughts that someone comes up with, that is like, that's a different level of society.
Because I think that when you look into somebody's head who's like always thinking about like killing people and all this other shit, but they never actually take the action on it, then you're probably gonna end up like having everybody always have a fucking magnifying.
But learning how to function in a society like that, crazy to think about. Because, like, think about it. Like, yeah, if you think about every day, like, you think about, like, man, I wonder what it'd be like to kill this person. But you know you're never going to act on it. You're sane enough to just, like, you're just exploring an idea in your head, right? Mm-hmm. That's where this policing thing gets dangerous, because then it's like, okay, so now if I'm dictating what's right and wrong, which is why I have a problem with what liberals are doing now, dictating what's right and wrong, what types of media should be shown in the world and what shouldn't. Like, I don't think that they have any say over that, because it's coming from your worldview. There's no collective decision that this is wrong. But anyways, like, if you have that in your mind of like, oh, I kill people, blah, blah, blah. Now the question comes, should you go to jail because you had that thought? Should we police that thought? Should we stop you from having that thought? Does that mean that you're wrong?
Now, this is what I think would happen if we got to a society where we could read people's minds. There are only two avenues. One, which I think is the more likely one, is like complete and total societal destruction. So I
see that too, but
I've done like a lot of psychology classes, and like basically half of my major is frequent child psychology. I can't remember exactly them because fuck that. But there are like these things you need to like not be insane, and one of them is like mental peace. Like, you have to be able to talk within your own head, which is why people that hear other voices in their head go fucking crazy. Yeah. And then the other one is we completely evolve into a different species. Right, so what makes humans different than other animals? We have metacognition. We have the ability to think about why we think about shit, which is why we're having this whole fucking conversation. Right? But now if we gain the ability to think about how other people think about shit, like, that makes us completely different than what it is to be human. So either we can become a completely different species, or we just break down as a society, because humans were never made to know other humans' thoughts and destroy completely. So those are my two. If we can read minds, that's complete destruction, or we elevate to the fucking top, dude.
That's what I said. It fixes the problem. I think, like, if we got to that point,
I think it's more likely to be destroyed.
Oh yeah, 100%. I agree, because I think the way the world is right now, we're going through another set of evolution, because now all these worlds have like collided and we're marinating, right? Like, the world is global now.
Or it's gonna be war, and motherfuckers gonna start popping off. Black people better start buying some guns, just saying.
Yeah, I was just telling this one lady that work at my construction site, you better not be leaving after 6 a.m. today, because the race war starts at 5:30.
They were so scared, man.
That pissed me off. Did y'all know my homecoming game got canceled? They canceled all CPS events, all of them, across the city. Damn. And we don't need to remake that game up. It just got hit with a did not play.
And this is the reason why I feel like the problem is not fixed, because the real problem is that people are afraid of black people. No. Like, and this fear didn't disappear. Like, you were like, the fact that, like, I heard people at work, like, I just happened to, like, this wasn't on purpose. I decided to work from home yesterday, and I didn't even know that the verdict came out. And I'm just like, I'm kind of glad that I wasn't fucking at work, because I don't know how I'd mentally be able to sit there being the only black person on, like, my team. Like, the people I interact with day to day are either white or Indian. There's one Hispanic guy. And that's pretty much it. And I don't think any of them understand that worldview, really. Now, some of them do, but not really, right? Like, so to think that I would sit there all day and have to maintain my composure as I hear, like, the most random statements of, like, my wife called me and just wanted to make sure I'm gonna be okay. Like, I'm just like, this is like, these are 9/11 calls. Like, these are things that happened when 9/11 happened. Like, when after the first building was hit, like, calls like this was sent out to say, hey, like, you're gonna be okay, you make sure you're safe. But that means that the black man or the black person is that scary to someone as 9/11. 2 gigantic towers coming down, millions of people died. That's how scary we are to people. Like, that's the view they have.
Where were you at when the Van Dyke trial?
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's how massive this thing would be. But if a hockey game happens and some team wins, right? It's a world championship, and nobody's scared of that. Who's calling me talking about, oh, make sure you get home safe? You know the Blackhawks just won.
So, like, okay, this is what I think. I think that there is a evolution, if you will speak, of culture, but I don't think it has to do with the mixing of races. I I think race has been mixed up for a while. I think it has to do with there's this shift from like the old heads being in power to slowly people in our generation starting to be in power. And I think literally when I saw all these people getting hyped, like trust me, our school shut down basically.
Yeah.
It's like everybody get the fuck out of here, go home. The first thing that happened in my head, I was like, you know what? This is an example of old people taking everything too serious and our generation not taking shit serious enough. There were probably a billion posts from people in our generation. They're like, yeah, we about to go riot and loot the streets. Literally niggas sitting at home like this. They ain't about to get out and riot the goddamn thing.
Yep.
And them old people like, the young people, they about to riot. Knowing good and damn well, half of us like, yeah, riot in 3 minutes. Draws at home. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, we're at that point where people are overlapping too hard right now. Our generation is a bunch of, we talk a lot of shit and don't actually do shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
And their generation just take us too serious because they don't have the fucking internet. Or they new to the internet.
Well, it's because they were the ones that actually did shit when they said it.
Yeah, but I'd also argue that it's the fact that I think the monetary value of good is starting to become a thing, but no one has a good definition of what good is. But like companies and now all these other stuff, they want to like, they know that their public perception is important more than before. Before it was like, I can just be a company and that's it. But now companies have to be people. And now that like companies have to be people, that means they have to tread the line of what is good. And to be honest, they always tread it the right way because they do what is good for them. So at the end of the day, like the Nike thing, they still support the NFL, but they also support Colin Kaepernick. At the end of the day, they didn't make a decision on what they really support. But they did do something that was good for business in one way, one of their markets, and something that was good for business in the other way, which is I'm still supporting the NFL. Like either way, they're getting money off both of their pockets.
Crazy if the NFL dropped Nike as their sponsor, that'd be like nuts. I'm like, yeah, y'all fucked up now, didn't you? I'm like, look, Colin, I'm gonna be real. Everybody that's just figuring out this whole shit, bro, this shit been going on for years. All right. Colin, you knew you was a fucking slave. They paid you $2 million a year. Who gives a fuck? You make them $300 million a year.
Yeah.
You knew you was a slave, and your ass started jumping. Guess what they did? Cut your fucking foot off. Hey, take your millions, brother. That's all I say. And this my thing. It be so many black people over here ripping and raging about the NFL. You motherfuckers ain't in the seats. It's white people that's in the seats anyway. I ain't never bought a fucking NFL ticket in my life. So me boycotting the NFL don't do a damn thing.
It really doesn't.
And if I was a fucking, I'm be honest.
And if it mattered, then they would definitely talk to you.
But if I was as a black man, if I was in the seat and I knew all my niggas that's buying tickets are these white people that's mad at this nigga, and I got some social media ass black people that ain't actually doing shit for me, I'm gonna listen to them. I'm like, all right, Colin, you gone. Sure, whatever. You make me a lot of money, but guess what? These niggas make me billions.
That's the other thing, yeah. And it's such a catch-22 because it's like, if I don't do what looks good in the optics, like, my career could be over. But even if I do what looks good in the optics, it's not going to help my career, really. Like, Colin Kaepernick was, I think, lucky to a degree because I think there was another NFL player that kneeled. And like
there were a lot of NFL players that knew. It was basically once some niggas was like, "Hey, bro, fucking stop." He kept going. But my thing is, I think Colin, that was smart for him because he wasn't that good. Like a lot of people was hyping up, like he was great. Colin Kaepernick was not that great. He was all right, okay. He's probably making more money now, just not doing shit.
Yeah.
Because he definitely wasn't going to last 3-4 more years in the NFL.
And don't sleep, protesting is a business. People make money off that.
And Jimmy Garoppolo is better than Colin Kaepernick. So they got a better quarterback.
He said it worked out then.
Everybody worked out. He got money because he got sponsored by Nike, and they got a better quarterback than Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah. But yeah, overall at the end of the day is don't believe you're right just because...
That's what you think.
Yeah, just because it's what you think and it's what you see through funnels that are made to show you what you like.
Yeah, like hey, before you decide,
you're not having any contrary opinions.
Before you decide if you're like, I'm 100% right, just try and think, what will my opposition think and how does that make sense to them? All right?
Exactly.
Just give it a shot.
And that's why we call this show The Perspectives.
Oh, part of it, yeah. This segment will definitely be a decent perspective.
Right?
But yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. This probably took up like 30 minutes. MVP of the week.
Oh, man.
Still within the 2 minutes.
MVP.
I'm gonna keep it off the political stuff for this
I
one.
was definitely gonna give it political.
I was going to try to keep it away from it.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna give mine to the judge, bro. Look his ass. Good shit.
We just had like a 45-minute conversation about this. Hey, he was just like, hey, bro.
And at the end of the day, all that shit aside, just straight up as a black man.
That's what I'm
look
saying,
his ass,
right?
bro.
That's the heart talking.
That's the heart, right?
That's real talk, though. That's real talk. Wow, that's so.
You know the judge.
That's so wild.
Lock that nigga under the jail, bro. That's my heart talking down my head.
Oh my god, that's wild.
Okay, I'm going to bring it back to the anime side of things. I'm going to give it to Flashy Flash.
Oh, he was turning up. He been turning up.
Because he went hard against those two.
Ooh, he dropped them niggas clean.
Oh, yeah. After they went beast mode.
And it was like, what do we do wrong? He's like, you ain't training enough, bitch. I think I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to do it. I know she took an L, but I gotta give it to her. Momo.
Wow.
Momo. She tried. She got heart.
Damn.
If it wasn't for her weak ass teammates holding her back, bro, she would have made it.
Next.
And Tokiyami, I'm disappointed in you. Invisible Girl, you actually did more than I thought you would. Who's Aoyama? Come on, bro. You got captured off screen.
All she did was make him not see why she was punching him.
Hey, look. All I'm saying is Tokudori said, y'all fucked up by not bringing the whole team
I'm not gonna
against
lie.
her.
Invisible Girl beat up Homeboy.
Manga.
Invisible. But I feel like if it was a freshman in high school, Invisible Girl with gloves on, I could still knock her ass out. So low key, that showed to me that she got some hands, bro.
What do you mean? You can't see her head.
I can see her hands though, because she's still.
And you can generally guess where her head would
Exactly.
be. You just swipe. You just a lot of swipes.
One hit and she going down. I would just tackle her and ground and pound, bro. 100%. Like, so she
That's
has
legit.
some type of hands.
That's
to knock
legit.
you down.
And you find a naked chick too at the end of the day.
I'm
There's
definitely
a lot of
just
boot
weak.
punches, there's a lot of like weakness areas he could take advantage of.
Just one. If I'm a freshman in high school and I got a chance to fight her, 100%. You think about how you were as a freshman in high school. You know she naked. Stop.
Wow.
Oh, I'm trying to capture you. Not me, because now I'm a globally minded.
Yeah, I'm not joining any of that
But as a
conversation.
freshman in high school, I can't tell you what I'm Motherfuckers not. Everybody want to be PT now. Trust me.
That's true.
As adults, sure we wouldn't, but motherfuckers not talking about themselves as a freshman. In high
I'm
school.
telling you, that's the first stage of the mind reading stuff.
No,
That's the thing.
no, but remember with the way social media is nowadays, the shit that you do in your fucking youth is gonna follow your ass when you're trying to do something when you're older.
I'm telling you,
You could be the most famous motherfucker. You 90 years old, they be like, when you was in high school,
High school, I'm like, dog.
let's throw his ass under the jail.
Like
You
you can't count anything against somebody that was underage at 18. Because like when those hormones run through you as like a freshman,
You just say dumb stuff.
You say and do really, really stupid stuff.
And you be thinking it's hilarious, bro.
Thinking
I remember like I always used to watch stand-ups on Comedy Central and I used to laugh at every single one of them. But it was only because of the beep sound. Like when they said curse words, like I used to think that shit was funny as ever. Like they would say a curse word and go beep, and I just start dying. Like, I'd be like, bro, that shit was so funny, and I would laugh with my other friends about it. But now if I went back and watched them same garbage ass stand-ups, cause I used to watch the puppet dude, I forget his name. He was not fucking funny.
The dog thing.
No, when he be having he had a suicide bomber guy. He's like a skeleton. He does like stand-up with like 3 different puppets. But either way,
One of them like a dog with a cigarette in his mouth or something like that.
I think so.
That's the one I said with the dog.
Oh no, not him. I know what you're talking about. He be on Conan, not that guy. It's a different guy. But yeah, either way, when they beeped out them curse words, bro, that shit was funny as hell, and I'd be dying laughing at all that shit. Now I don't find it as funny.
That's the question of the day. As a freshman in high school, could you have wrestled a naked freshman girl and not done something stupid? I don't think I could.
I'm telling you, there's those niggas out there that gonna say.
Why she gotta be naked though?
Because she invisible girl.
Yeah,
She's naked.
No, but what I'm saying is, if you wrestling any girl while you're a freshman,
Hey,
I'm not gonna do something.
This is a quick.
While she clothed.
I seen some dude lose a wrestling match because in high school we had a girl who was a wrestler, and you probably think, oh, she was cold, she was bad.
Yeah.
And so this dude had to wrestle her. Yeah, she was bad, and this dude had to wrestle her, and sure enough,
boom,
it was there because she was cold.
He touched
No, he didn't touch her. He was like trying to win his wrestling match.
Yeah.
It's just that you wrestling up.
you can't control,
girl,
and you can't control that shit, bro.
Oh yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying? And then this thing was up there.
You can't control
and
that
guess
shit.
What? DQ. Lost. Disqualified. He lost that match. I don't know who you are. I think you were from Hubbard High School. You wrestled against Kane. You got DQ. That's what it's like fighting invisible.
Yeah, right?
That's wild. So
You just sitting there rolling with your dick hard or whatever.
If it happened against a dude, I think they're a little more lenient.
They'll let you wear a cup.
You supposed to.
You ain't finna be winning no cup in a wrestling match. That shit hurt,
It
bro.
would be really hard to move around with a cup.
That shit hurt like a
Like, let's
mother.
put it this way: if you get hard against a dude, you could get DQ, but they're a little more lenient about it. It's a little more embarrassing on you.
Yeah, they just be looking at your ass like,
I think they gave him like half a warning. Like, hey, dog.
oh, he got half a warning, but he got a full shove.
You do something.
I thought it was that semi-hard and they gave him the half a warning. Hey, bro, you see that?
That motherfucker punk out anymore.
Anymore, bro.
I just freaked myself out at that point, boy. Once the half chub came out,
And I'm just like, bro, I don't even.
And you want this tight ass outfit on? You can't have that shit. You try to push it down or whatever. You ain't had
I
that
think
shit.
bogus for that because
Oh yeah, he was set up for
you
failure.
definitely gotta rub one out before you go. Like he didn't know. He didn't know it was a If I had known, it would boom.
And then once again, she has a tight outfit on, so that ass sticking out. He like,
if
He probably got
damn.
slapped with a titty. That was it, huh?
If somebody was like, oh, I'm wrestling against a girl, I'm like, oh, it's wrestling? She probably bogus, whatever, I'm good. I wouldn't even have thought to do that. You know, I see her and I'm like, oh, she cold. It's a wrap. Who would do that?
Bring me out.
Coach would be like, all right, bro, go get it. I'll be like, nope, coach.
I'm like, coach,
I can't stand up. Coach, I can't stand up right now.
I know, I gotta stay in my chair, sir.
That's wild.
I'm DQing right now. I quit.
Moral of the story, off anime logic, invisible girl could beat up most students.
Damn. I mean, definitely grape juice.
Stop.
Yep. You know that. He's the horniest kid in the whole class.
He gotta stay
In the school.
But you know,
He
actually,
could be bogus.
nah.
He gotta stay.
He's checked.
She could be bogus.
I know.
He fapping to
Manetta's
everybody.
checked.
He fapping to everybody, bro.
It's because it's going through his mind every day. Like this
Yep.
bitch is naked. She's whole ass naked.
Hey.
You know he's sitting in class like she whole ass naked back
Right now.
Like, and then Richard had trying to explain some problems and shit. He like she whole ass naked.
Yeah.
Bro, great
You
people
whole ass
probably
naked.
like, I'm breathing air that's touching her naked.
Whole time.
That be dumb
This shit hard as hell thinking about that
You
shit.
know, there every once in a while he just like took his little hairball off and just tried to shoot it out her boob. Like he tried to get so that he could see it jiggling.
Yeah.
So he would know like, oh, her boob right there, and how big they were, just to get like a rough ass. Because if you get a little jiggle, he like, oh, she ain't them. But if he get like a doop, he see it like, oh, she got a day.
You know something?
I'm sorry.
I can imagine all the schemes in the world. I just come with baby powder like, oh shit, my bad.
She got no nipple.
Yeah, no, I couldn't be in there. Not as high school. It's too immature.
Yep.
That's wild, man. You up on her, bro. I'm just so stuck on that, man. You gotta just hold that.
You can't.
You gotta just hold that,
Dude,
man.
we used to make fun of motherfuckers all the time. We used to make fun of motherfuckers all the time when they had to go against the chick. We were like, yeah, you fucked, bro.
Damn.
Your ass finna have a strong
Oh, you used to
boner.
wrestle too?
Yeah.
Like, my thing is like, if you go against a chick and you like straight up whoop her ass, then alright, you can get out. But like, she was actually good too. So it's like,
So it's
you're not just
lasted.
gonna whoop her ass. You
Yeah.
gonna be wrestling.
So it's
and she
lasting.
cold.
I'm telling
So
you,
it's a wrap.
as soon as that one little titty just smack you across the face is rap. That's half chub right there.
So the thing is, you gotta like try to slam a pin and quick as hell and just get out of there before it come up.
Exactly. But when she
And
was
then,
low-key-
you know how they be doing that little cheat where they put that thumb in your booty hole?
What? Alright. That's a wrap, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. about.
No, some wrestlers told me that some of them niggas be cheating.
Hey, you wrestle? Have you ever had a thumb in your booty?
No, but I had a nigga that put his chin in my fucking eye socket.
That's normal.
I hated that
I
shit,
heard
man.
niggas do that, but either way, if she did that to him, it's already full chop right there. You done, bro. You out.
If a girl put her thumb in my booty, that actually gets rid of my chub, so now I can wrestle.
Oh, for real? I thought you was getting your ass.